Stirtz, Conference Player of the Year. They named their MVP after Larry Bird, who played at Indiana.
The MIAA. It must be a pretty good league because Stirtz, who's the Player of the Year in Missouri Valley this year, was only second-team All-Conference.
Stirtz with a three. He is their leading scorers for the Bulldogs. They've won 17 of 18. Drake with it, and Stirtz, the Player of the Year in the conference, with a three.
You simply cannot back off of him like this.
Montgomery's on top, got the screen. The pass deflected. Stirtz has got it. He'll sail in. 2-point game. And the defense on him, Duke Dean. Good steal guy, quick hands. At 5'8", he's tough. Stirtz a three.
But he's also smaller. They've been defending Stirtz with the...
Drake is led by three, up now by one. Working on Dean again. Sizing him up on the fly. Rebound Atlason. Hits the deck, cradles the ball.
When you get in a tournament like this, you're playing teams that know you very well. It's difficult to do what you do best.
Stirtz, no, from way outside. Rebound collected by Jaquan Johnson. The front will defend. Looking for a screen from Banks. Now they go on top. Montgomery's defense. Stirtz will maneuver, twirls, and fires. It's loose. Vacuumed in inside by Colt. Stirtz and the defense by Dean. Two of the premier guards in this conference. Three, Stirtz. Raises the rim. And a whistle.
I think they're just trying to disrupt the flow here for Drake.
Stirtz and Johnson is there. It's a three.
But again, Johnson is too small to...
And Stirtz. The defense by Davis. Shot clock at 2. Stirtz off balance. One-hander no. Inside, Banks was fighting for it. He hits the deck and a shot clock.
Who's in and who's out? Now we finally know a couple teams that are in.
Oh, a great steal on top of Missouri. Stirtz.
Grind you down, don't they?
Skilled, terrific players. Strong defense. Step back three. Bullseye.
They get great shots. Late shot clock, you're going to see a lot of that. Stirtz in trouble. That's a desperation shot. Missed it. Out of bounds. Belmont.
Big key for Belmont. Can you sustain that discipline late in the shot clock against this Drake offense?
Got a guard for 30 seconds, and Stirtz a step back three. He school grew, and now he's a 6'9" big.
And right now, early on, I just really think this game is being played at Belmont's pace.
Witt knocked it loose, and an
effort from the 6'9" freshman.
See the drought for Drake. Stirtz trying to stop that. That's a 2, and that's clean.
Exactly what I'm talking about.
Out of the water with 21 points yesterday.
Yeah, and the game was tied at 16 against Southern Illinois, and the Bulldogs went on an 11-1 run, and Howard scored 10 outdoors. That means you didn't even get a shot at a basket or a free throw attempt.
Stirtz drives, missed the runner. Witt cleans it up.
I thought that was a foul.
Stirtz again, takes the three. Has his rebound. Comes up short. Shot may have been altered or tipped. Witt has got 5 assists. Stirtz. And a rebounding foul on Nate First's own look here. Now they kind of slide back into man-to-man. Stirtz, step back three. Good way to open for Drake. He's got Stirtz against Witt. Two sizable point guards. Falling away. This may be a game, or the game, where Bennett Stirtz has to take. Brady in the corner. Stirtz out high. They hit 3 buckets under 4 on the shot clock in the first half. Stirtz, the runner, is off.
And that's a harder place to double tip. By contrast, in the first half has been a little bit more challenging.
Stirtz probing. Fouled! Free throw coming. Bennett Stirtz is in the... Witt's got 8 points, 5 assists. Stirtz, late clock, 3 to shoot. Knifes his way in. Beat the buzzer. And a
pass, a curveball, not the fastball.
Stirtz driving and scoring. He's got 20.
A fourth pass rotate into a man-to-man.
Drake's not a great three-point shooting team. Guess what? Late clock, there's a 3, and it's way off. Magnon's fouls. Wow, and that...
Here comes the Belmont crowd from Nashville. Beautiful campus.
Step back 3. No. Rebound tip. Magnon!
Abreu. Now to Stirtz. Stirtz trying to cut the corner.
How sweet is that?
If Drake does not win this weekend, you're talking about if they would lose 4 losses. That's it. And there's Stirtz with the first one from beyond the arc. And the great story I saw in Des Moines on Danny Abreu. What a character this young man is.
That guy. Every game I ask him what the movie today is. Today it's the Reacher. They're going to give different looks to Stirtz on his ball screen defense.
Then is trying to get a pick. Time winding down. Steps back. A little strong.
Out of Howard, Abreu's on the bench with 2 fouls. He's maybe all defensive team in the Valley.
Stirtz from downtown, in and out. Banks with the rebound. No, Hensley scored 4 of 6. Stirtz has a wide open lane somehow, some way.
They're 6'4", great.
And yeah, double team kicked out. 4. Stirtz forces it, and a shot clock violation. Well, you knew they were going to
In the paint.
Stirtz on Steffi. Player of the year in the Valley. No, and that'll do it. Well,
you have to overcome is just the mental aspect of it being different. And then you figure out how quick ball swings. Like, you can put the defender in really tough positions because they're just not as close to you. So
we talked about the big 3 in the open. They only had 19 points at halftime. They had a total of 62 yesterday against Indiana State.
Stirtz with time winding down. Davis.
And off today.
Stirtz. And he shoots it over the taller Hensley to get it dropped down. And is, you know, they're not a team that's going to win a game by 40 points or what have you more times than not.
Well, a lot of their analytics look good, except the net does not because of what you're talking about, Scott.
Help. Shot clock down to a dozen. Isaiah Jackson looking for an opening. Stirtz flashing to the pass and scores the basket. Scares so many ways.
Times you've seen Osei Bonsu actually get stood up by a defender. Really good leverage that time from Abreu.
Stirtz pulls up for a 3-ball. Isaiah Jackson runs down the rebound. An 11-6 lead.
And if you're the Bears, part of the reason you switch to this zone is making sure Bennett, Stirtz, and his screen of rolls aren't what beat you on the offensive end. But nice set piece that time.
Against the Bears as we are 11 minutes into this first half. Stirtz left open for the 3-ball.
As he's moved off the ball more into a shooting guard role, he's continued to flourish.
Stirtz from deep with 2 on the shot clock. And the ball picked up there 12 but hit only 6. Almost a steal that time by White, but good job by Mascari to haul it in. Here's Stirtz going to the paint, getting his own rebound and having it knocked away from him by Open. Stirtz, who leads the league in scoring, in steals, and in assists. With the basketball, trying to add to his point total, and does. Second 3 of the ball game, and that's at Bennett. First half, Stirtz brings it on top to Mascari. Banks looks baseline to Stirtz. Nice back cut court by Stirtz. He's got 12. Howard with the kick. Stirtz works against the defensive Brady. Takes him to the baseline. Brady reaches in and fouls him, and the ball hangs on the rim and drops. And there'll be a chance at an and one. Beat Howard. A nice pass slipped in from Stirtz, but good defense by Missouri State. So Drake has to reload with 13 on the shot clock. Stirtz for three. Chases down his own rebound and scores. There was a case where
Going to call a timeout here as well. No, going to let Bennett Stirtz play.
Stirtz to the paint. Stirtz with a fadeaway. It rolls out. Banks with an offensive rebound and a foul called out. Period. Bulldogs have had some overtime experience this year. They played 4 overtime games. They are 3-1 in overtime. Stirtz spins and scores, and the Bulldogs take the lead at overplayed.
And you didn't even mention Abreu, who I think is number 7.
Yes, he's in the top 10.
Not far behind.
Stirtz, deep three, not this time. Battle for the rebound and coming out with it. Likes his maturity, likes the way he's handled some adversity. Stirtz falls away with 1 on the shot clock. Banks with another rebound.
Who else? I mean, just in the...
Here's Stirtz. Gets a return out top. Trying to use a topside screen. Tough shot in the paint. Fadeaway is good. So tough to defend.
Nation, actually, from 3.
Needs 11 over the next 4 games to break the Drake season single season record. Speaking of threes, another guy who's not too bad.
I mean, they work so hard on keeping the man in front of them and doing a really good job of that. And they're just tough to go against.
There's Stirtz. You can't leave him open, but he misses that 3. But another offensive. Couple changes both ways here. Got to keep some fresh bodies the way we're playing defense tonight. Stirtz around the curl for 3. Won't drop. Turnbull the rebound.
The rim, and they're not guarding two of the players. So
Stirtz drives inside, in and out and in.
He's just good. I mean, he's just solid.
Does get through to Stirtz. 12 to shoot. Fade away. That one won't go. Hughes high for the rebound.
And his defender saying, hey, you got to do a better job of just keeping your guy in front of you.
Stirtz again. Leaner. Got it. And 1. Physical. And now back to Stirtz with 10 to shoot. Nearly had his pocket picked by Pizzano. Nearly pulled a pivot foot. Fires. Oh, and hits with pressure in his face. What a shot.
Good defense that time by Hughes. Keep it in front.
Stirtz. A little loose with the dribble. 4 to shoot. Takes the shot. Missed it. And a rebound to the Aces.
Well, Posada, and if you're the Aces, you don't want to necessarily see this turn into a free throw shooting contest here in the last 5 minutes of the game.
That's a 3 from Stirtz. It will not drop. Rebound Evansville.
For the Bulldogs. Freshman. His energy off the bench. He's number 23 in white. Stirtz. And Tavion Banks, I think that was a packed 3s in that game. When he finds a heater, it's tough for opponents.
Now, can he match up on Stirtz?
Well, Stirtz answers right back with a 3 of his own.
They get extra possessions at the offensive end from offensive rebounds. They attack the glass.
And speaking of that, Stirtz attacks, rolls it off the fingers of the left hand.
Cool, call.
Ten on the shot clock. Stirtz, very comfortable looking 3-point shot. Stirtz at the free throw line will kick it back out. Stirtz finds a seam, bounces it off the rim. Look at that. Abreu had it knocked away, got it back. And they'll get it back in the dependable hands of Bennett Stirtz. Step back 3. Good rotation on that shot.
Cool, palm,
Coming off its biggest comeback in a decade, beat Belmont in Nashville after falling behind by 19 in the first half. There's no quit in Northern Iowa. Stirtz is going to get a chance at a 3-point. Bennett Stirtz wants to quiet this crowd. Campbell watching him closely. What touch by Stirtz.
Great defense.
He drives it to the paint. Stirtz deep 3. That night trailed for the lion's share of this game. Stirtz, 2 to shoot, in and out. Try to stick it back. And whistle.
Didn't finish. Did not get the shoulder squared.
Bennett Stirtz with 17 points. Launches a 3 and he got it from the near wing. Another to go. Drake has a couple of timeouts left. 3 for the Panthers.
Northern Iowa with only 1 3-point basket this second half. They've had some great looks.
That swims out. Off the screen. Bennett pulls it back out between the circles. 4 to shoot. Throws it up off the back iron. Big rebound. Banks. Right now, especially with Hudson.
Abreu does it.
Yeah, Abreu's going to trigger it. Stirtz, turn and shoot. Panthers will push it ahead. 5 on the shot clock. Stirtz running out of time, throws it up. Backside, Banks. What an... Drake doesn't call a timeout. Hudson has it. The lead is 2. Drake running out of time. Stirtz leaves it short. Abreu for Mascari. Counts if it goes. What? 10th lead change. Stirtz. Quiet in the second half. Got his own miss. And ties it at 57.
Got the swing. Game clock.
Two to shoot. Stirtz. Oh, mercy. Clutch shot.
Just made a couple plays on both ends of the floor in the final minute to get that win over Drake. Now Stirtz a wide open look from 3. And Drake
going to get a timeout.
10-0.
Transfers, guys who are playing with their teammates for the first time as we see another steal, and the kick ahead to Stirtz. And we're going to get another timeout. But
Stirtz with 5 points early on. Guarded by Contreras, who's in the game for UIC with Ethan Pickett. Jackson throws it right to Stirtz. Another steal for 14 in white and 2 more points. Bennett Stirtz with 9.
They're so fundamentally sound. They stay in front of the ball. They challenge every shot.
Stirtz drops a 3 over top of Contreras. And Drake will slow it down. Stirtz right to the glass. One of the,
he is out of that Vince Lombardi mold where you chase perfection and you may just catch excellence.
There's Stirtz. He's going to get the 2 points on the goaltend call. Final seconds of this first half. Stirtz a simple stop and shot. And Mason Stirtz, the shot is off the mark. Maniau the rebound. And throws it back to Jack. Missed his first 4 shots. He had 7 points for the Flames the first time these two teams met. Stirtz had 30 points the first time in 10 games. They won 11 straight before Sunday's loss to the Braves here in the Knapp Center.
There's not a lot of teams that have double-digit winning streaks in the same year.
Basketball IQ, too. Knows where that ball's going, knows where it's going to be. Stirtz guarded by Contreras. Gets the shot up over top of him. How about that? Contreras, Bennett Stirtz, and Mitch Mascari a lot. They are number 1 and number 2 in the country for minutes played per game. And a tip in by Banks, no good. How about
only the great Jim Molinari.
Here's Stirtz.
They've got Ilovich on the short roll, but he's that time threw it back out. He needs to get aggressive and take it to the rim.
Stirtz driving. That's rejected by Montgomery. not out to a great start here on the road against Drake.
It was a game where Stirtz did not score a field goal, only had 4 points.
And he still doesn't have a field goal in this one. Physically, foot injury, so some sickness, a bout with the flu. Stirtz still looking for his first points, and there they are. Bennett Stirtz, the leading scorer.
Pitch inside.
There's Stirtz. Great pass. Jackson now finds Manial. Stirtz left wide open, and he is heard from early here in the second half with a back in front with under 5 to go.
Well, he went there last time, made a poor decision, but came back again. Big basket.
Stirtz gets the crowd back on its feet.
Well, that time the
game down the stretch. Average 22 seconds per possession. Just ahead of the shot clock. Stirtz misses. Tied up, and it's going to belong to Brad. Stirtz. What a defensive play by Davis, and Johnson tracks it down.
The length.
Perimeter contesting passes, not allowing any easy catches. Cam Manial slippery against Chase Walker.
They go back door, and the back door was open. Stirtz lays it in.
How about that set drawn up?
Bennett tied at 6, 16-20 for the first half. Jackson looking around, and on a nice backdoor cut, it's Stirtz.
You know, Andy, one of the things that makes this Drake team
around that screen, back to Mascari. A lot of quick handoffs here, and then a foul line jumper is good, and a foul and a bump from behind.
What that is to defend.
Now Stirtz. Lean in shot, the little floater, he left it short. And Poindexter there for the rebound.
Chase Walker into double figures. Sorry, Andy.
Yes, all right, 10 points. Stirtz. Floater. Second one, he's left short.
One of the rare times you see him kind of second guess it.
Up. Here we get it back from Combs. Again, the shot clock into single digits. Pull up 3 is good. Timeout. Shot clock to single digits, down to 7. Fall away shot. And Bozer will get the
execution, offensive rebounds. It's part of what's led this team to the 22-2 record they have thus far.
Stirtz, too strong. Kinziger there for the rebound, and then lost it out of that. Now it's Abreu. Working on Kinziger, who has the 2 fouls. Stirtz off the mark. Manial got a hand on it, but Davis will corral it. Into the paint. And the pass stolen. Stirtz. Clear it out. Kinziger's got to be careful. And scores.
I thought Dalton Banks had just a good answer after Drake built this lead to 11, keeping it down in single digits.
Stirtz. Little push shot there is good.
We saw him a couple of times in the first half. Ball under control, get it out to Doherty.
His 42nd made three-pointer of the year as a freshman. Stirtz for the following.
Big possession here for the Redbirds. By combined 14 points. A couple buzzer beaters in that mix as well. This Redbird team close, just on the cusp. But so far here tonight in Normal, Drake doing what they can, getting the Redbird faithful, the crowd in Zip2 Arena behind him.
Near steal, Stirtz hits it, and a foul. And
this is what Drake keeps looking for on the switch, putting Johnny Kinziger on Bennett Stirtz in that screen and roll.
Shot missed, but a rebound underneath. And a 20. Stirtz leading Poindexter right into that screen. Now we'll pull up for a 3 and hit.
If they can get them to go down, it can make them very deadly. And the Bulldogs, they've just got to be able to defend that. But the Bulldogs have been great this year on the defensive end. That's been one of their strong points.
Stirtz, who leads the Missouri Valley Conference
championships.
Mascari lobs inside for Banks. Banks does a nice job finding Howard in the lane. Shot clock down to 4, so Stirtz will take it to the paint.
And that's been one of the things that I've been most impressed with Stirtz. It was just incredible what they did. And then the Bulldogs just kind of dismantled them into the tournament there, able to go on. And I was in agreement. I thought that both teams should have gotten to the tournament. Unfortunately, Indiana State didn't.
Most points in the Missouri Valley Conference, Indiana State, their opponents averaging 79 points. So when you're in a game like that, something's got to give. And so far, it's been all Drake, and Stirtz connects for his second 2 points. Shot clock is at 9. Mascari, Stirtz gets one-on-one with Dowdy, who's got 3 fouls. Shoots over him, leaves it short, and the rebound run down by Josiah Legree.
On that baseline.
He really was. I mean, the guy's got a pretty good vertical leap, doesn't he?
He was a great player in his time, too.
He was. As Stirtz slices through and makes it once again a 7-point game. Indiana State, got to give them a lot of credit. Down early by 15, fighting their way back. Stirtz in and out and back in.
Well, it's come on. I keep looking at Wagner to see if he might be one of those unsung heroes late here, the way he's been shooting the basketball.
Stirtz on the floater.
But Stirtz
is the fact that Drake will take a lot of time off the clock.
And be able to can get what they want. Just as right there, go underneath the screen. Doesn't get it to go down, but get a wide open 3 attempt. Impressed with this Sycamore team this second half, the tenacity they came out and played.
Boy, it just talks about the balance in the valley, doesn't it? Indiana State with the chance to tie it with situation, but they're still going to run down the clock.
And you know that ball's going to stay in Sturtz's hand.
And he does not get the roll, and the rebound grabbed by Gray. Gray with a big
ball. You don't give Indiana State some type of cut and run.
Drake looking to stave off a huge upset by Indiana State. Stirtz for 3 at the buzzer. The ball is tipped late, didn't go down anyway.
The 2 halves, the Bulldogs really pressed their defensive stance on Indiana State the first half, and the Sycamores have been able to really press on both ends.
Stirtz slips onto the baseline to Jackson. The ball is deflected, but it's picked up by Abreu. Well, he's been everywhere on the loose balls, hasn't he? With 5 seconds on the shot clock, Sturtz's shot rims out, and the rebound taken by Gray. To the court. Again, the Bulldogs will want to bleed some clock. Stirtz fall away, and he misfires on the shot. Just one of his last 5 down the
coaches and not doing anything. Quick decision, letting these players sort it out on the court.
Clear out for Stirtz. The fadeaway won't go, but Banks is right there to put it back.
And save it from the over and back. Stirtz pulls up for a 3. Got it. Bennett Stirtz, 35%.
They're switching the perimeter. Now it's Applewhite on Stirtz. There's the push off.
The freshman gets the offense. Another Wyoming transfer, Cale Combs. For Stirtz, 5 on the clock, steps into a 3. Off the heel.
Good job playing with 2 fouls. Here for Murray State, matched on to Stirtz.
Banks. All alone, Stirtz knifing to the hoop, and Banks found him.
Great awareness by Banks. He's
back out there between the circles running the offense. Man, Bennett Stirtz. Yeah, you know, he might be out, but not for... Wellington hasn't missed a shot yet. He's starting to miss those kind of shots. Stirtz, another floater, and he has been perfect on those kind of shots. This little...
Into the paint. That one a point-blank look. Bill's got to finish that.
Stirtz all alone there on the back side of the lane. Nobody slowed him down.
Oh, for 5.
Stirtz, another floater. Doesn't miss many of those. Good on rebound to Howard.
Rare miss by Mascari. He had a great look at it.
Tipped up and in. Stirtz off his own miss. That comes to an end.
These possessions are precious because it's going to be a low possession game.
Step back, Stirtz. Manuel, the putback. Just 3 on the shot clock. And Combs is going to trigger the inbound from the sideline. Finds Stirtz all alone. How does that happen?
Ran the same play at Southern Illinois. And you have to stay focused for a long shot clock.
Boise State within 8 now. Stirtz out ahead of everybody, and he wants the foul. Doesn't get it.
So he's Wood trying to nice Stirtz the ball.
3 on the clock. Stirtz leans in. No. Ellington goes up. Just watching Stirtz dribble away as we go under a minute. What a shot.
Classic puts the... They're going to play through. It's going to be high ball screen. Damian Mayo is trying to get over the top, use some physicality.
Stirtz found her seam, couldn't finish at the rim, but Maniau runs down.
Ran into Maniau, not able to get through cleanly.
Stirtz again found a way to get right to the basket.
They want to make him
Tuesday. Now win over Valpo. Shot doesn't go for Stirtz. Now we get contact underneath and
both ends.
Here's Stirtz in the paint. And he's gone in there a few times. He's only made one. Now on the outside, he does hit. So Bennett Stirtz has been drawn into the lane.
Hands, watch him in the post. They wrap around, knock it loose, time and time again. Steals on the wing.
Stirtz, man, we've seen that move a few times. And Southern Illinois is fine now. As Drake is 0 for its last 4 from the field. Stirtz throws it up a little off balance, and Elite Bay collects the rebound.
Great job by Elite. Get rewarded now with some extended minutes on number 25.
He's a soccer player growing up in Mexico, came to basketball late, and he's got a rebound here. And Southern Illinois is
really good by Southern Illinois.
Stirtz
tiptoed the line.
Kept it alive, and he finishes at the basket. Bennett Stirtz just never biggest lead for Southern Illinois.
I talked to Rodney Watson, the radio man, been here 26 years. He said, I said with Kennard Davis, he said he's become the man and he knows it. That had to be Ben McComb's halftime message. Do not let them get into the painted area.
Stirtz probing and finishes with the right hand on the left side of the 10.
Well, he set the freshman up.
6'11" post player from Mexico, Moreno, right in the middle of that D. Stirtz outside, wide open, hits the 3. It's his second triple, and it's a quick timeout.
The leg base played well. Moreno has been also excellent off the bench.
Great pass. Banks to Stirtz. Usually it's the other way around, but Stirtz got behind early fouls. Spent most of the first half on the bench, and then 14 seconds into the second half, his third foul. Stirtz gets loose again. That's going to be goaltending. Count it for Bennett Stirtz. Southern Illinois within 1. 9 minutes to go. Stirtz answers back with a 3 of his own.
Mayo got...
Stirtz falling away, left it short. Abreu right there for the rebound.
Steals. Even.
And he's going to get 2 more.
Now, how rare is it that a player leads the league?
On pass.
Pretty good look that time for Schweiger. This Drake offense starting to get a little bit loose with those screen and rolls for Stirtz.
Stirtz getting the shot off over. And Stirtz going to turn the corner, guarded by Bourne. Stirtz goes right into Bourne, gets the shot to fall. Jackson starts to back down Schweiger. Out to Stirtz, step back 3, and it's good. And Stirtz.
Schweiger, another open look. Another big answer on the road for Schweiger.
There's Stirtz. He's into double figures with 11 points.
Do so successfully over the years.
Shot clock at 5 now. Stirtz, a little fade away from the baseline. And a foul underneath.
Position off that miss, and Titan Anderson being more aggressive. Good start for Northern Iowa early in the second half.
Stirtz drives. His shot is off the mark, and Hudson with the rebound. A screen. Now gets it back on the wing. 12 on the shot clock for Drake. Stirtz draws the bump and the foul. Coach Jacobson.
This is where Drake kills you. The offensive rebounds, but willing to run 30 seconds and then another 20 off the shot clock, forcing you to defend for over a minute.
Stirtz had to go arch that one real high.
Camaraderie. Fun to see. First year for Coach Ben McCullum, already making an impression on the Drake faithful.
Oh, Stirtz gets the and one. Bulldogs, and Drake will sit for another 10 seconds and go to work.
That's just a killer defensively.
Stirtz launches the three. Campbell the rebound.
Fortunate and a bit of
here for Drake. They have won 6 consecutive games, sitting in second place in the Valley standings, and a pretty hot UNI team's won 4 of the last 5, but Cam Manyow.
And so their numbers don't look like everyone else's, but when you do it at a percentage basis, they're great really at everything.
Stirtz with the jumper there.
And that's teams that are efficient, playing all the time. Stirtz is playing constantly. There's never a time that he takes off. You think you're going to go under one? I think it was the energy at which we went after that made Ben McCollum unhappy, and we have a sub coming in.
Shot by Stirtz blocked. Knocked out of bounds by Drake. Isaiah Jackson. Stirtz will fire up a three, and he knocks it down as the shot clock was winding down.
A switch. Now you've got a guard guarding Abreu.
4 on the shot clock. Stirtz with the left-handed layup.
He's got some Brady that made the pass, but there is not much room to feed that thing in.
Stirtz with the move on the right side. Bears games finals in all of them except for the Evansville-Valpo game. Loose ball, 2 seconds. Desperation jumper, no good. Loose ball on the
Ball needs to be in Sturtz's hands, and he needs to make a play for someone.
Missed that one. Had some pressure. Bears with the lead, 48-46.
Another switch. Now you've got Stirtz and a big guy, and you've got a guard inside. Wide open look, just didn't go.
Drake again with it, trailing by 2. Stirtz in the lane on the left side. Right-handed layup by Stirtz ties this game. We're tied, under 10 to play.
Stirtz has been in this position plenty of times.
Missed shot. Bears come up with it. Shot. That's what they want Mike to catch. And here's a pass stolen away by Stirtz. 3 white jerseys running with him, but he goes up on the left side and scores anyway.
And some legit
2. And last time these two teams met, Drake had a 10 rebound edge. Stirtz goes in deep. His fall away is off. Offensive rebound by Manyow.
And that
Isaiah Jackson still on the court, though he has limited playing time with that ankle still. Here's Stirtz going in deep. His fall away with good defense by Seth. The offensive rebound, and again, offensive rebound.
Really helps open up this Drake offense.
That was his 58th three of the season, by the way. Leads the league in that category. Stirtz goes inside to score. His first basket, his 4th point. Drake by Stirtz directing the offense. He finds Manyow. Manyow slips a pass inside to Combs. Nothing going there, so a 4 on the shot clock. Stirtz lets fly and scores. Again,
trying to keep Drake off balance.
Essentially known as a man defense, but they will mix in some zone. They did that a lot today in shoot around. Here's Stirtz with a floater through the zone to score.
And that's where your
games for Valpo.
And already up to 9, same amount he had last time these two teams played. Fouled out in that first appearance.
Stirtz takes Schweiger inside. He scores and gets fouled by Schweiger.
In that situation is just a little bit of a scare. Your body kind of reacts, just takes you a couple minutes to feel back normal again.
Stirtz goes in deep, misses with 7 on the shot clock, and a foul is called on Matt.
Second half, also try to wear out the Drake ball handlers like Bennett Stirtz.
Alpha wants to play at pace. Bulldogs haven't let him thus far. Maseri misses off the front of the, Stirtz misses off the front of the iron. Ankle has allowed him of late. Hands it to Howard, and this is Stirtz down the lane. Backing his defender down, McNair misses the shot. Rebound by Abreu, and Abreu draws the foul.
It's away time in these leads, running 30 seconds off the shot clock, getting a stop and doing it again, and just out executing their opponent. Great back cut there from
almost 4.5 to play. Stirtz works against Schwieger, will take him inside. Schwieger with 4 fouls, keeps his hands up. Stirtz tries it a couple of times, doesn't hit the rim, shot clock violation. But again, Stirtz using clock. Shot clock down to 7. Stirtz drives himself, changes hands and scores.
Extra pass to Abreu. Stayed with it. 4 to shoot. Stirtz has to launch a 3, and it's way off. Didn't draw iron. Shot clock violation.
Sycamores.
Bulldogs have hit their last 3 field goal attempts. Stirtz moves in from the lane. No. 1 and done are the Bulldogs.
Job defensively here on the Bulldogs. They got to get Mascari under control. He has been the problem. They've kept Stirtz under control.
Now Stirtz, not a great look. Getting the misses. Combs.
For Wake.
Been looking forward to this one in the Valley. Drake and Indiana State. And here's Stirtz still trying to find it. He's been out of range. Harding 2 for 2 from outside.
Matthew Graves is getting more comfortable with that shot, and there's Stirtz reading that ball.
1,000 career points in 3 years there, and has made an impact early on in this league. Combs, good pass, found Stirtz, who was all alone.
We call that the dunker spot behind the back. You're going to hit a lot of screens from your guard number 14.
Stirtz rolling, rolls off, and foul underneath. And this
now Teal is going to take a shot at guard Stirtz, trying to go to the top of the screens.
Stirtz, oh, what a tip in by Cale Combs, and back on the perimeter. Stirtz falling away. Nice touch on the baseline.
Oh, that's a big time shot. They had him closed off.
7-point lead for Drake.
With the ball screen, it's going to come.
Nice shot fake. They get it to Stirtz. And he's not going to get it. But it's a lead for... Stirtz with 4 on the shot clock. Steps back. Bounces off. And that's going to be a foul.
Otherwise, they're going against a set Drake defense.
Stirtz, he'll get to the line for a 3-point opportunity. Stirtz rolling, right hand, got it.
Getting the paint time and time again here in the second half. And he likes the future of this team.
Stirtz rolls off the rim. Indiana. Stirtz swims out, and there's another whistle and a foul on corner. Quick.
Scary out here. Being face guard by Walker.
Stirtz gets the bounce, and 4 of 21 from 3-point land. It's just not going to cut it.
Now watch 22 Mascari. Now he's just locked to him.
Abreu, what a... When they were on that 12-0 run to start the year, never quite cracked it.
UIC, they lost again at UIC. Stirtz had the 30 and 12.
57 a game.
That's crazy. And of the 16 opponents, 11, they've held their opponents to the season low. Just incredible defense, and that time, incredible shot.
14 a contest for the Redbirds puts ISU on the board.
Yeah, I love the growth of Kinzinger. We talked about it with Walker, but Kinzinger as well as Bennett Stirtz staying hot, going under the screen. Had an open layup, but a good recovery from Mannion. That's part of the hustle you talked about, Brad, on the defensive end. No give up in this Drake team.
Stirtz wants another three. Knocked in his first one. Southern Illinois in the last 3 games. Stirtz with a shot clock down to 5. Guarded by Poindexter. Gets a shot off. Rebound tipped out to Abreu. Stirtz working against Banks. Stirtz launches the 3. And it goes out of
hitting and reaping the benefits, reaping the rewards now. Starting to see that work put into fruition. Chase Walker, absolute problem, going to be a big part of chipping away at this Drake lead.
That throw a ball before their receiver makes a break. Stirtz now with the steal, races to the other end of the floor, gets the lay-in for 2, and Stirtz now with Brady at 6'6", Dalton Banks listed at 6'2". Shot clock at 4 for the Bulldogs. Stirtz, step back 3. Oh, he gets it to fall. 10 points now.
Move that time for Walker, everything but the finish.
Stirtz down to Mannion, now back to Stirtz. Stirtz launches the 3. That's too strong. Mannion, the offensive rebound, went right over the top of Pence.
At the 5th offensive rebound so far for Drake. One of the things they do really well, it was a Mitch Mascari 3 off an offensive rebound. These minutes were tough minutes for the Redbirds in the first half. With Bozer at the 5. Redbirds have been on a nice run. We'll see how they hold up with Walker on the bench.
And Stirtz drops in a 3.
You getting that deflection. You mentioned the Drake stingy defense. Never allows anything easy, even when it looks like something might be right in front of you. Vantage point. Got the 2, but no whistle.
How about the discipline of Stirtz and the trust from Ben McCollum to let Stirtz finish that entire first half with 2 personal fouls.
Fake to clear space and seeing the opening, using the rim to protect it. So good with that left hand, soft touch.
Stirtz launches the 3 and makes Dalton. Gets it back top of the key. It's Banks up in the air. Stirtz, no. Kinzinger
in the weave. Stirtz coming off only a 4-point performance at Bradley, and that was his lowest point total by far this season. But he quickly gets his first 2 this afternoon, this evening.
You know, and against Bradley, he had some games, and it just takes time when you lose the amount of starters and the amount of scoring that they lost from last year's graduation.
Stirtz penetrates and doesn't score, but Jackson's there for the offensive.
Leaders on the team. You talked about some of the players that had to change their role a little bit from a year ago. He's one of them, has become a leader and a good scorer for them.
Stirtz on the miss. Mannion on the offense.
4 rebounds, 3 assists. But the other important thing in that ball game, he drew 7 fouls, so able to be aggressive and get inside, get himself to the free throw line.
Yet another offense.
Abreu had to take him, stayed right with him, but he was able to make the move midair and get it to the glass.
Stirtz on the attack.
We saw Stirtz do that to open the ball game.
Inside, Banks working his way down the lane. 10 seconds for the Bulldogs to shoot it, so Stirtz will take that 3 try and nail it. 7 for Stirtz is up by Tanner Cuff. Again, the shot clock down to 8. Stirtz has a notion at a 3. Fires with 2 on the shot clock, leaves it just a little bit short. And there's the push.
Twice in that possession that Mannion came out and helped out on Comer.
Stirtz, deep 3. And that's going to lead to a timeout. Back to single digits. Stirtz initiated the offense with a drive, a pull-up, and a basket.
This is the kind of run that we talked about at halftime.
And how fans say, well, gee, he's good. Why didn't you start him earlier? Well, McCollum has some really good reasons for that as Stirtz hits a slam. 14 for Stirtz. Again, just a 13-point second half for Evansville. Steele, Mannion, not a score there. Stirtz can't hit it either, but a foul call.
I think we're going to get a goaltend again here.
Team second leading scorer, 12th best in the Valley entering play tonight. Almost 14 a game. Stirtz for his field goal attempt of the game is blocked by Hannah. Up high with a left.
So much talent at the mid-major level. I mean, you know, everybody talks, you see Stirtz in the three, but it's a lot of teams that are
play tonight. They've been shut down by this fantastic half-court Drake defense. 3 to shoot. Here's Stirtz. Got to let it go. Beat the timer. Can't hit the shot.
His second double-double of the season Wednesday at UIC.
Banks starting for Jackson, who's got a slight lower leg injury.
Good defense. This is Stirtz. Shot clock inside of 10. Drives, throws it up, and doesn't get the bounce, and Ellington will clear it.
Well, Murray State has challenged everything. Murray State's got some dudes now. Like you said, they're just trying to learn to play with one another.
Stirtz off the mark from 3.
Drake's going to be very deliberate with their attack. Middle ball screen. Let Stirtz read the defense.
Stirtz a cold start from the field.
40 times in the last 5 games.
Off the steal, here's Stirtz in free flight. He'll lay it in.
It's amazing about number 14 in white. He doesn't look excessive. You got to make him bounce, come out and challenge Harkham at the three-point line.
Stirtz trying to get it going for Drake. That one's blocked underneath. And it's going to be Murray State's ball.
And we know the Mullins family, Ryan and Brennan, can coach up some defense.
Boy, can't they? Stirtz still trying to find it. Lindsay missed the rebound, but it's
left side.
5th-year senior. First team All-Valley in the preseason. And there is a basket, much needed for Bennett Stirtz.
Curl cup.
Wait for reinforcements.
Freshman has been sensational for the Drake Bulldogs. Got his number called today.
Stirtz roll into the hoop. He's starting to catch fire. One of the few in this game. Remember in the first half, he missed a lot of baskets real close to the rim. Stirtz off balance. He was pushed and won.
Murray State Racers.
Stirtz attacks. That's blocked. Maniau got it back to Stirtz.
They run to the baseline. Stirtz got tangled up and went down. Harkham saw it, came back out ball side.
Stirtz tries to answer. Off the lip. And Murray State leads by
transition, which is so lethal.
When the Flames get out and run, that's when they win. But Drake doesn't let many teams do that, as Stirtz is on the board for the first time.
Yeah, they're just making it too easy. Limits the number of possessions per game.
And here they go, down to 8 in the shot clock. Still no rush. Stirtz, patient, and he drops it in.
Yeah, again, just bad on-ball finish by Kensleris, but Philip Scoball with big-time mismatch down low.
Stirtz, so patient, and you can count it. Foul on Kensleris. That efficient offense led by Stirtz. Here they go to work under 5. Stirtz the 3. Bingo!
I mean, it just in Missouri Valley Conference basketball.
Stirtz, it's like 1-on-4. Smart to pull it up. Here he goes. Stirtz over Ciani. Not there, but the tip for Maniau is.
Yeah, this.
And the Flames can space. They can score in a hurry, too. Over 80 a game this year. It's Stirtz. Kiss it off the glass.
I mean, just heads up play by Coach McCollum and Stirtz to keep.
As Stirtz goes down. Mascari, a sharpshooter. Back to Stirtz, open for 2.
You know, that time, Ciani got switched out on this. A direct, open, wing-to-block pass should be made very easily.
Abreu, Stirtz just wide open, and he cashes in.
Well, critical error by the Flames.
Here in Chicago. Jackson up top. And now Stirtz going to work.
Flames back into man-to-man.
Stirtz, another 3 this time. Short, but a second chance up back with it. The patient Stirtz weaving in. Stirtz off the glass has 19.
Well, you talk about player, you know, it's It's my guarantee if they hit that number, which I don't think they're going to, then they would win for sure.
Stirtz for three in the corner.
Nice adjustment, but he likes Freeman.
He's got Contreras on him. And he triggers a three. Air ball.
What'd I tell you?
Hates Contreras.
Length. Oh.
And then Manya with the grown man slam that does not count. Stirtz stuffed by Contreras, but that's a goaltend, and Stirtz scores his.
Leave him on him. Don't switch.
And they switch to Mason. Now back to Big Mo. With 5, Stirtz, and 1.
Wow. Tough shot.
How does he do it? Pickett's on him now. Haven't seen much of this matchup. And then Stirtz cooking over Pickett, the miss.
Jeez. You know, I mean, I think.
Second half. Stirtz for 3. Yes! Lead is back with Drake. Stirtz on Schkobal.
Don't let him get it back. If I'm the Flames.
Stirtz for 3. Not that time. Offensive board, Manyao. This season, down 2 possessions. Minute to go on New Year's Day. Welcome back. Bulldog ball. Stirtz, a corner 3. Not there. Gets his own board.
Boy, just it.
Mitch Miscari triggers. Here is Stirtz. Quick, long 3. No. Tip for Manyao. No. Out of bounds. We stay.
With Stirtz, usually from the top of the key, top of the circle. Stirtz does such a good job probing defense, understanding timing and spacing. Bruins have been up to the task. Shot clock violation on possession number 2 for Drake.
5 starters. And a takeaway for the Bulldogs. Jackson ahead to Stirtz. Stirtz in transition gets the layup. Great use of the body.
Yeah, how about
count 3 from Lundblad, too strong.
That looked good. Right in front of us that time is Stirtz getting another deflection. Look out.
Bennett Stirtz will do it off with 4 points early on for the Bulldogs. Stirtz goes left side. So crafty, up and over the arm of Charnowski.
And it's 6.
Now Stirtz with 5 on the shot clock. Gets the whistle and the basket. An opportunity to tie us up. Stirtz with the shot clock winding down. Launches the 3, and the rebound grabbed by Witt.
And here's Belmont.
Conference opponent, 49. 27 straight home victories. Dates back to 2023. There's Stirtz. He's into double figures, 11 points.
Ben McCullum has started putting him kind of in that low spot where you saw him get that last catch. They call that the dunker spot, low by the paint, as a way to both make plays and continue to challenge the defense. So it's not a big connect.
Stirtz off a screen, top of the key.
Tough.
Gets downhill, off the window for 2 more.
Just knowing how to use time. We've seen a Belmont screen and roll from the top of the circle with nobody guarding in the paint. Charnowski showing off his ability to finish.
Stirtz the step back 3.
Walker physical there. Miscari up to the task.
Here's Stirtz, floats it up for Manyao. No, Stirtz put back does not fall, and collecting it is Orm.
Those 2 is a lead of shooters as it comes.
Stirtz working against the freshman, Sam Orm. Fadeaway shot, good for 2. Bennett Stirtz.
Looked like the ball slipped out a little bit late. Isaiah Walker only 2 points so far in this one.
Stirtz jabbing 5 on the shot clock, launches the 3. That's too strong. Abreu comes in for the long read. Are from more than 10 feet away from the basket.
Yeah, just such a great job. Isaiah Jackson, Daniel Abreu reading and reacting to rebound potential. A lot of contact there. Looked like Bennett Stirtz was trying on the defensive end.
Stirtz. Tough shot. Rolls off the rim. Pierre with the rebound. Good defense. Jackson back to Bennett Stirtz. Stirtz goes to work against Rogers. Oh, and he gets it to fall. And a trip to...
It's unusually cold from the three-point line. so far. Missed their only three-point shot.
Good find.
Stirtz open for three, and he drills it.
A guy at 6 foot that's like a second point guard on the floor, that active, getting offensive rebounds, but Isaiah Jackson finding his space early.
Stirtz takes Riedinger to the hole. Shots, the Bulldogs 5 of their first 10. Bulldogs had Nate Ferguson into the lineup for the first time. Banks tries to keep the rebound alive, but
so a little bit short-handed are these Phoenix, but you see a lot of fight in this group in green.
Stirtz bows a three, and the rebound is taken by Foster.
That cut from Hall. So both Mascari and Abreu, two guys who often will play 40 minutes, have 2 fouls here in the first half.
And Abreu had played the first 16 minutes, and there's Tavion Banks with and hit all of his shots. Here's Stirtz looking his way into the paint. 5 on the shot clock. His fall away is in.
I mean, just tough. Facing basically 3 fake. The official thought otherwise.
10th Green Bay turnover. Bulldogs 2 turnovers. Almost unheard of in college basketball to go a half with only 2. It was not Mascari who providing the punch for the Bulldogs on offense. Stirtz, though, does have 11 points, and of course is distributed well. Misfires right there, and the rebound is captured by Riedinger.
Time through navigating through all those screens for the Phoenix, talking through switches.
Stirtz pulls back, fires the 3. Abreu with an offensive rebound, trying to make it his hands on the ball again in a time or 2. This time, though, it's Isaiah Jackson on a double-double, finding Stirtz at the buzzer. And the offensive rebound put down by Matt.
3 from the right side that's up. It kicks around and off from Isaiah Jackson. Able to get the offensive miss. Stirtz on the drive and lays it in.
This is an aggressive break team. We thought they'd be long and go, but they don't have a post-up game. They're trying to get players to the lane on rolls.
Stirtz able to get to the rim and lays it in.
Yeah, great changes. Change of speed by Stirtz.
Quick 6-0 run for the Wildcats in just over 30 seconds. Got a 20-point lead down. And just like that, Stirtz takes it to 31-15. He has 6.
Ball.
Got some friendly fire there.
That's Merry Christmas from a teammate.
Stirtz, too long. On the offside, a rebound by Isaiah Jackson.
And Mascari, no field goals in this half. He's got 1 free throw.
Stirtz, floater, short. An offensive rebound by Tavion Banks.
And not get their defense set because they can't score baskets. Kansas State playing downhill.
Stirtz able to quiet the crowd.
But you're right, Mark. C.J. Jones of Kansas State has caused problems. He can't get a shot over the top.
Here's Stirtz taking it and laying it in and making it a 1-point game. So Drake responds.
Jones on Stirtz.
A 3 from Stirtz, miss. Gasson saves it. Just able to get to him and seal him off there. Stirtz, floater, up and in.
Oh, big time shot. Turn the corner.
Gets it back from Maniau. Backs up. Gasson slips a little bit. Stirtz on open lane and lays it in. Down 4. Dangerous. Stirtz again, a steal. They play on and Abreu cleaning it up. A minute to go in overtime. Stirtz gets the ball in his hands. Stirtz around and out. A Gasson rebound. They got the shot they wanted though.
Tell him to play it out.
No timeouts. Drake's got to shoot it. Stirtz got it! Incredible! Still time!
And we are underway with Mitch Mascari taking it into the paint. Bulldogs with the same starters as they've done all season long. And Bennett Stirtz is having an incredible career. Gets the scoring started tonight. Not able to play. In fact, his streak closed tonight and was using one of the walking apparatuses, for lack of a better word, and not able to put any pressure on his foot. So
to settle in once the confidence gets there. A lot of ability, a lot of scoring ability, just a knack to put the ball up near the rim.
Stirtz with a score. You mentioned the ability for Howard to score. Average 34 minutes, one and done, and the Bulldogs come up the court. Turnovers, big story in this one. St. Ambrose has turned it over 9 times, leading to 13 straight points. The finish by Stirtz. That's his third basket of the night.
Yeah, just so dangerous. They got with 7 here in the first half. Nice knockdown that time.
7 of the first 19. Here's Stirtz going the other direction to score.
So smooth. I mean, just so easy. A better drive.
Equals a career high. Abreu with the lob. Maniau. Bulldogs kick it around to Stirtz. He misfires badly on a 3, and the shot
makes all the hustle plays. And I really like his ability to see the floor. I think he's a guy that his penetration ability to be able to find guys like he did with Bennett Stirtz that time.
Pull up, shot won't go by Narbona. And again, it's one and done, and the Bulldogs a much taller team, a much quicker team, taking advantage on the boards as Stirtz stirs down the lane to score.
I mean, just how about that going college basketball? That's a little bit of a mental adjustment. Good opportunity to get some run here tonight.
Stirtz sees an opening, tries to take advantage of it, and it's finished by Tavion Banks. Banks now with an ear.
That's where they want to go. I think that Monegro would have an advantage against Howard, but he was turned away that time. Now Stirtz for 3. Oh, yes, yes, sir. Even though the hand was in the face by Schwieger. Eyes advantage. Schwieger comes to help. Valpo tries to recover against Stirtz. What beautiful move and a finish. So 5 quick ones for Bennett Stirtz. Shot clock again under 10. And again, the ball's in the hand of Stirtz with the shot clock winding down. And he's able to finish.
Well, he seems to be that
big possession here as we're under 3 to go in the half. And there's Stirtz. He's second in the league in steals, and he's got a burnout dunk. And he's in double figures offensively as well. Good job to force it back out high. Mascari was very quiet in that first half. Back to Stirtz. 3 over Schwieger, and he knocked it in. 14 for Bennett Stirtz. Valpo hit a high percentage in the first half and still trailed by 9. If they don't shoot well in the second half, this could get out of hand quickly. Stirtz. A great rebound.
It's not going to be at the hands of Cooper Schwieger in the lane, and it's not going to be Cooper Schwieger on a pick and pop.
Meanwhile, it is Stirtz the other way, and over Schwieger, couldn't finish. Tries to back him down. Schwieger holds his ground. Shot clock now winds down. Stirtz, a tough step back shot. Deep 2, Bennett Stirtz. Long possessions, as Jamie said, can be awfully deflating. Stirtz against McNair. Tries to draw the foul, no call. They fight for the rebound, and Sepa with it for Valpo. Now it's going to go to Stirtz late in the shot clock. He's got Sepp on him. A step back 3, no, off the heel, right the rebound. And the freshman out of the pack. Jackson, they give him the lane, he doesn't take it. They back it up, shot clock winding down again. Stirtz is going to have to take a fadeaway 3. And I think that did catch the rim or not. That actually, now Mascari, Wright stays right up on him. Here's Stirtz. He will drive, can't finish, but put back up and in by Maniau. Way underneath. Now it's in the hands of Stirtz. Tough fade, got it! He answers. And Ben McCollum at time hurts. And again, they run him through a screen, and Sepp has to switch out on him. Shot clock at 5. Deep one from Stirtz! My goodness! Jackson looking for help here. Jackson's got to create. Backdoor to Stirtz! Are you kidding? He does it again.
And Valpo.
Baskets and a couple of early rebounds. Maniau looking in the paint, nothing going. The open player, Bennett Stirtz, for 3.
And, you know, Larry.
Per game, averaging 37 minutes and 50 seconds per outing. Pulls up, fires, and leaves it short. And the basketball bounces out of bounds. Then it was landed by Isaiah Jackson. It does hit the rim, and the Bulldogs do get the offensive rebound. Stirtz on the penetration. Not good. Battling for the rebound. Maniau Then McCollum, somebody who doesn't usually substitute quickly in a half unless there's a reason. He
Yeah.
felt there was a reason.
He was frustrated that time with Cam Manyow as Bennett Stirtz unable to knock that one down. Different when you're the primary ball defender. At that time, especially in transition, both players moving forward. That's a tough call on Nicavian White.
Starts off the baseline, leaves it short. Banks with an offensive rebound. Way that they were bringing it up a little deliberately, and maybe that's one of the reasons the shot clock has gone down, is a little more time out of the backcourt. Stirtz takes it to the rack. He can't finish, but there for the tip on Tavian Banks. Big block by Stirtz with help up front from Mascari. Stirtz coast to coast for the layup. Wow. Bulldogs try to stretch to the 9-point lead. Stirtz works baseline and count it, and he's fouled by Bradley Douglas.
And that is just...
Which is fourth best in the conference. Stirtz, well, he knows exactly, well, that example. Stirtz, he knows exactly what to do with it. That time Douglas with a block.
En el poste medio. Penetra Stirtz.
Atención que Drake está rotando su ofensiva, no en su mejor jugador, sino alrededor de él, y esto les está causando muchos problemas.
Abreu.
Qué buena canasta,
Stirtz que penetraba. El rebote que termina con Charleston Classic. Stirtz en el 1-1. Stirtz que anota. Apoyándose en el tablero y en el aro. Que se había ido indetectado mucho tiempo. Stirtz, quedan 5, quedan 4. Stirtz se voltea, lanza la plegaria. Aire puro. Será posesión para Vanderbilt. Stirtz. Cambiando de dirección. Stirtz que penetra, la flota y anota. Linda flotadora de Stirtz. Ben Stirtz. 10 segundos en el reloj de disparo. Stirtz, un pasito atrás, intenta el triple. En el aro. Rebote de Ferguson, otra vez Stirtz. Stirtz, penetrando. El taponazo termina mandando. Intento de triple en el lado. Rebote, quien consigue finalmente Drake con Stirtz, que manda el pase. Arriba. Stirtz, el pase. Falla la bandeja. Y el rebote. ¿Y esto cómo lo llaman? ¿Qué es esto? Abreu. Abreu, se la quieren quitar. Abreu, se acaba el tiempo. La da para que intente el triple. En el lado. El rebote. Abreu.
¿Estás de acuerdo que Vanderbilt con casi 5 minutos de no lograr canastas y tuvo 3:40 en la primera mitad, difícilmente vas a aspirar a llevarte una victoria? Bueno, pero eso ya es por salud de nosotros.
Sí. Stirtz que robó. Stirtz que penetra, tablero y doble. 65 de Jackson. Quedan menos de 10 segundos. Stirtz en la pintura. Cambia de mano, tablero y doble. Jugadorazo. Ben segundos. Edwards buscando decorar el resultado. Robot Drake de costa a costa. Y la siembra. Como para decir.
He's a talented young man. Catches the ball well. Good touch around the rim.
Here's Stirtz. His first shot is good. That's a two-pointer for Bennett Stirtz.
Not been able to get any easy shots, more one-on-one than anything else.
Here's Stirtz. Off the mark, corralled by Voikatitis. Point coach. He had 4 points, 5 assists, no turnovers, and now he has a steal. Gives it up to Stirtz. And he can't convert. A rare miss for Bennett Stirtz from close range. Stirtz for 3.
And that's what I'm talking about.
Stirtz content to bleed some clock. There's 3 to go. A logo 3 off to the right. But the rebound and putback. 5 on the shot clock. Stirtz is going to go. He rises up, can't knock it down. Trey Carroll comes away with it. Shot clock.
Tried to make the Ferguson.
Especially big to big. 5 on the shot clock. Stirtz had to force it up. Another good defensive stand by the Owls. Stirtz thought about the 3, pulls it back out. 5 on the shot clock. Stirtz dials it up. Can't knock it down. 1 and done for the Bulldogs. And Baba messes up the shot. FAU daring him to shoot it, and he didn't take the dare. Stirtz will, and he'll hit. Jackson. With 4 on the shot clock. With the ball. Now Langenfeld. An air ball from 3. And Stirtz, like he was shot out of a cannon.
That explosiveness right there. He made
That is 6 threes for Mitch Mascari. He had 8 triples in their win against Stephen F. Austin earlier this year. Now it's Stirtz on the other end. And Drake has their largest lead of the game.
Another score on the floor, so it's his time to come back.
With 6 to shoot. Signature ball movement. Doesn't pay off, but an offensive rebound by Jackson. And they're not fouling yet, Coach. When do they have to start?
I would have fouled earlier than this.
Stirtz left alone.
They should have fouled a couple.
Stirtz off balance, 1 foot, and it's still good. Bennett Stirtz's first 2 of the game.
What are you waiting for?
Stirtz from the corner, off the mark, and Blackman with the rebound.
But if it does, it'll be special. But this Miami team is an awful talented basketball team.
Stirtz off the window, largest lead of the game for the Bulldogs.
Stirtz is such a key.
By the freshman, Divine Ugachukwu, number 99 in black. 3 on the shot clock, Stirtz. Missed that one. Another offensive board for Abreu.
To penetrate the ball and get such good ball movement that they're getting easy shots.
There's a lob inside. Stirtz pays it off.
And that's what I'm talking about. I mean, there are players on the floor right now.
Pack is one of them, certainly. 6 players coming in, averaging double digits for Jim Larinaga. Stirtz stops and pops from inside the paint. He has 8.
Easy threes.
Here's Stirtz. He has a game-high 8. Can't make it 10. 1 and done again for the Bulldogs. 21 and white. Stirtz. High off the window. No good. 5 straight misses anymore with the transfer portal. 5 on the shot clock. Here's Stirtz. Forced it up. Good defense by the Canes. Another offensive board for Drake, this time by Ferguson.
I'm amazed the way Miami's getting beat on the offensive glass.
Stirtz left alone. And the shots are not falling now.
That they're looking for.
Shot clock is off. 10 seconds to shoot. Drake's going to go to the locker room with a halftime lead, and Bennett Stirtz is the first player in double digits.
That's what you have to do, and then all of a sudden Drake comes right back with the back cut, taking advantage of the aggressive Miami defense.
There's Stirtz. He has a game-high 12 now. 5 seconds on the shot clock for Drake. Mascari. Stirtz. Got it off. But it's no good. 5 on the shot clock. Stirtz just chucks it up and gets it to go. It's been that kind of day for the Drake Bulldog. Stirtz gonna have to do it himself. And you half expected that to go in with the way he's split to go. Five on the timer. Stirtz around and out.
Yes, if you get an easy look, you got to be able to take advantage of it.
There's that home run pass again. Second time we've seen that work. And Stirtz finishes.
Them well experienced because they're fifth-year players.
And we saw that toughness come out, especially closing down the game. And that the guy, not the fifth-year player, place for this program to continue to take steps in the right direction.
And as you say, the reputation they had from the run in the tournament. Stirtz, a deep three, and the Bulldogs now 0-4 shooting the three ball. Duax goes high, but Ferguson can't handle that one. Bulldogs turn it over for the second time, but it's a swap the other direction. Stirtz comes up with it, and a 2-on-1 break. He leads the break and scores. And Bennett Stirtz with two quick baskets for the... Combs finds Stirtz, and again, the offense will begin with him. He drives all the way off the glass and down, and that's three quick baskets for Stirtz.
And again, just
under 10 on the shot clock as Stirtz gets a screen for Banks, screen and roll to Banks. He has it knocked away on the baseline. Big scramble for it, picked up by Stirtz. He fires with one on the shot clock, and it's a shot clock violation as it...
Where to go, how to set up his teammates. That time gets a little too deep, only 5 on the shot clock.
Stirtz knows that. He pumps it with 3. It rolls off. Offensive rebound, though, grabbed by the Bulldogs.
With no Cam Manyow in the game, no Nate Ferguson in the game, not as much resistance, vertical resistance at the rim. Good finish for McLean.
Stirtz leaves it short, and the rebound is cleared by Duax. The transfer goes into the lane, puts on the brakes. Again, Florida Gulf Coast doing a good job of making the Bulldogs use shot clock, but Stirtz steps outside and nails the 3, and he has an 11. And again, Florida Gulf Coast has made the Bulldogs work for their shots. They've not come easy. Stirtz steps back and hits another 3. Barely ripples the nets on that one.
Nice.
Stirtz works against McLean, and now the switch and Duax is on him. He takes it into the lane, off balance, score it, and hit count, and the foul's called on Duax. And Michael Duax has the foul quickly. Oh, they do a good job finding the open man Jackson, but he gets covered up quickly. The shot clock goes down to 6. Here's Stirtz with the floater off the glass and down. That's 10 points for Stirtz. I mean 10 points in the 8. Barno backing him down. Has the ball stripped from him by Isaiah Jackson. Bulldogs 3 against 2, and Stirtz with the finish.
Great play by Isaiah Jackson. Defense way to the rim, finishing underneath. Big time play for number 32 in blue.
Stirtz, the floater off the top of the backboard. The follow shot won't go, and it's Kelman, a big...
Stephen F. Austin team to be able to get some of those open looks.
Then it's Stirtz, puts the ball on the floor, then gets the ball right back, and that goes in and out. Manuel battles for the rebound, but it's taken away. Ferguson retrieves the loose basketball.
No less love from Drake fans for the new Stirtz than the old one, though. I promise you, Larry, is Bennett Stirtz so impressive with just how he sees the...
In Emmanuel. Mascari moving it quickly to Abreu. Abreu drives the base, finds an open Bennett Stirtz, and Stirtz finds the basket.
Making a statement with that one with the right hand.
He played most of his college ball in Division II at Anderson. There's a shot underneath that rims in by Stirtz.
And slithery. Good athlete for Sean Christmas.
Ferguson works the ball to Jackson. Jackson to an open Stirtz, looking for 3, not getting it. The 3 ball not been there consistently. Feeds Ferguson. Getting in the way was Heyman. The Bulldogs retrieve it. Howard moves it quickly to Stirtz, who drives the baseline with 5 on the shot clock and misses. Going high, trying to get the rebound is Ferguson, but he can't compete.
But just the threat that he provides as a shooter, forcing.
And the Bulldogs with a quick basket as that time on the inbounds. Mascari finds the Stirtz streaking. Abreu. Now Stirtz working his way down the lane. He looks to kick first, instead fires, misses. Manuel hits the follow shot.
And makes contact. That's an automatic call from the officials.
Stirtz turns the corner, finds Jackson. Bulldogs move it quickly around the perimeter. Stirtz for 3. And the rebound run down by Christian.
Now using his long arms to knock it away.
High screen set by Manuel. Stirtz takes it to the rack. Battles for the rebound. And Christmas able to get the rebound. An excuse, but I feel it gives me a little more energy.
Okay.
Shot clock down to 7 as the Bulldogs possess it. Stirtz fires with 4 on the shot clock. It's long, and the rebound is wrapped up by Nana and it's Stirtz. Drake opening their biggest lead on this 21-5 run. Stirtz darts to the lane. Contact, but no foul. Johnson
doing something he does so well. 10th all-time Northwest Missouri State in assists.
Here's Stirtz with the steal and finish.
That's one of the...
And getting a new look here is Cale Combs, another transfer from Wyoming. Here's Stirtz with the big 3. Oh, he's got a good stroke.
Yeah, that just smoked.
6 of 13 from the field here early on. 2 of 8 from downtown.
And willing to be methodical on the offensive end. Now Stirtz knocking down his second one, but
that's going to be his 4th board of the night. Here's Stirtz. He'll drive, can't finish at the rim, stopped him. And here comes York looking to run it.
There for Doggy offensively. Drake defense got to be able to pick up a little bit through those screens.
Stirtz at the top. And the Bulldogs have cooled on the turnover. Stirtz with the steal. Can he finish it? Yes.
Not a lot of confidence, BJ. You said that thing was going down. Ace of the game, trying to give his teammates confidence.
Stirtz for 3. Ring it up for Bennett Stirtz.
Looks like back-to-back plays, getting those guard post-ups.
Stirtz at the top of the key. Combs gets the long rebound.
For 4. There's Stirtz, Conference Player of the Year. They named their MVP after Larry Bird, who played at Indiana. 1. Setting a high screen with the bump. Firing the mid-range shot. Montgomery can't get it to go. Stirtz has it right now. 6 consecutive wins for the Bulldogs. Cody Duke Dean. Dad called him Dude. They got confused. They call him Duke. They go inside. Swatted away by Abreu. Wait, that was some block. Abreu, freshman team in the conference. A bump, doubled, twisting. Hannah, it's a 3 with 1 second to shoot. And it's picked up by Stirtz. The NCAA tournament. The conference open for both these teams to get in. Hannah muscling his way. Lost the ball on the shot. It's a Stirtz rebound. Another one. Really good.
Walker kicks. Peebles. He'll shoot it anywhere.
And normally Belmont late in the clock, they get in their dribble handoff game.
Stirtz again. Takes the 3. Has his rebound. Comes up short. Shot may have been in the game. His career high and season high is 30. Did that against Southern Illinois. Witt, straight on jumper.
I see why Evans' body looks better than mine. He offense out near half court.
2-minute drought right now for Belmont. Step back 3. Pierre with the down 7. Need a miracle. That was a clean block apparently. Stirtz up ahead. And Drake is going to...
Lots of turnovers, and they kind of fell apart in the second half of that game.
Mascari hit back-to-back 3s to open up that game.
Steffi a little off on his first attempt of the afternoon. Great defense by Steffi.
Oh, the switch. He got his hands right in the pass.
Elite Bay in transition. Can't get it to fall. Stirtz. Davis has been quiet so far in this half. Deba. Stirtz comes away with it. Davis was flirting with disaster with the... Taking a lot of time on this possession. And kind of a forced step back 3 by Davis because the time was winding down on the shot clock.
And Combs off the bench now on the Wayback Machine.
The 20-somethings and younger are like, who?
Who's that dude?
Bulldog defensive switch. Now the lengthy feed on the baseline to Oba. He tries to put it up. Abreu able to knock the loose basketball, the missed shot away, and Drake will come up the court trying to regain the lead. Shot clock to 12 as Brady floats to the baseline, can't score. Stirtz pulls down the rebound for the Bulldogs. Driving into the paint, has it rejected by Abreu. The block for Chase Martin. Abreu with the block at the other end.
Guys take them, not Bennett Stirtz, Daniel Abreu, and Mitch Muscari. It's the others taking those shots as Osei Bonsu, point blank, just unable to finish.
Stirtz comes up with a loose basketball. Bulldog, Missouri State. So Drake has to reload with 13 on the shot clock. Stirtz for three. Chases down his own rebound and scores. There was a case where
that shot's rejected off the backboard. Huntley keeps it alive. It's still loose. Scrum comes. Tie up here. Possession arrow. No, timeout, they say.
Cuff will try to answer for three. Left that one short. All Bulldogs on the rebound. 4 minutes exactly remain in the first. Assists and 2.3 steals per contest. 10 to shoot here for the Aces. Pisano, leaner, won't go, and he's just not been on target tonight. At least here in this first half, Gabe. After Evansville scored the first 10 of the second half, Drake has scored the last 4. Pisano off the rim and no good. And the Bulldogs have it. 10 to shoot. Comer inside, turnaround, missed it. Stirtz the board for Drake.
Now got very few transition points that first matchup. Drake gets back in a hurry.
In and out for Titan Anderson, and he wanted the foul.
Keep your eye on number 14, the ball in his hands. There's going to be high balls, steals, and assists.
There's nothing he can't do. Campbell also had some contact there, no foul. Good Iowa, 4 of 18 from the field. Anderson spins. In and out. Man, he is just having some tough luck.
There's physicality. He's getting bumped down low. The hands are high. Anderson having a tough.
Anderson double team. Kick out. Weisbrod penetrates. Falling back in the lane. And now Drake can hold for the last shot if they want it. They trailed for the lion's share of this game. Stirtz, 2 to shoot. In and out. Try to stick it back. And Wisu for Banks. The lead is 3 for Drake. Campbell. And Bennett Stirtz wants to push. Gives it to Banks, but he traveled.
He wants over there on Mascari. They can't get it to him.
Schmidt has to throw it up ahead of the shot clock. Off the heel. And Bennett Stirtz just grabs it. Campbell passes on that open look. Anderson going to work inside. Flips it up. Tipped out right into the hands of Bennett Stirtz, and he'll walk it up into the front court. Lead change. Stirtz. And quiet in the second half. Got his own miss and ties it at 50. Under 10 on the shot clock. Campbell will rise up for 3. He's off the mark. And Stirtz gets the rebound. That's the 10th rebound for Bennett Stirtz, so a double.
Guy. Scary, too strong on that 3. A rare miss on a wide open look, and Jackson left the layup short. UIC tries the backdoor cut by Pickett. Now Contreras in the lane. It will not fall, and Stirtz with a rebound. Drake's defense. Freeman was right to the rim, misses the close range 2, kicks it out. Jackson, no. Stirtz. Manyao, a near steal. Left open in the corner is Henderson, and the 3 does not fall.
You got a good look there. You just need to knock it.
Drake currently in a tie in the NCAA for most wins this season at 23, tied with Auburn, Duke, St. Mary's, and High Point. pretty close to their scoring average offensively. Anderson's three. In the corner of the iron, and now Drake.
Stocky four-man, 6'6", 220 pounds. Here's Dean now rising up. Doesn't get it to go, and Bradley still without a basket.
Jackson got hung up.
Davis was looking for the foul called on Stirtz, but it didn't happen. This Drake is Hannah. Program record 142nd career game today, all at Bradley. Jackson misses, so the Braves one and done. Combs goes in deep. Bad shot, kept alive by Stirtz. Shot fake, Mascari. Duke Dean, three ball. Yanovich tried to tip it out, keep it alive for the Braves, but it is Stirtz in the front court, and he'll slide. Missed the back end. And so Drake's lead is one.
It's Kinzinger.
Pence got tied up. Out to Banks for three. Too strong. And Stirtz the rebound. And it comes to Mascari. Trailing the play is Combs. Nicely they give and go. Here come the Redbirds on the run. Davis launching for three. And Stirtz will grab the rebound.
Kills per game in the Missouri Valley, and you see why they're great anticipation.
Pence for three, short. And the woes continue from behind the arc.
And this is where Drake's pace is
with his 12-point deficit. Pass to the open man is Davis. Just would not stay down.
Good look for Davis. Now Combs being aggressive, trying to put the ball in the hole.
13 points. And a miss and a rebound by Stirtz.
And see, that's what Drake does. They get the rebound and then just themselves in the conversation as an at-large in the NCAA tournament.
Walker unable to complete the point-blank shot there.
See, that's what Drake keeps looking for on the switch, putting Johnny Kinzinger on Bennett Stirtz in that screen and roll.
Shot missed, but a rebound underneath. And a 20-second reset on the clock.
On the court is completely unflappable. Nope. A steal. Stirtz with a trailer and Banks. And Drake has 8 points. And the turnovers have really been a problem so far for Bradley. What a feed. What a finish. Picked up by Mannion. Kevin Stirtz sometimes has it here. Stirtz, Jackson screen, switch on defense. Shot clock at 5. Cross court, it's a three, down the hatch it goes, Isaiah Jackson. Ben McCollum is over there. You're just clarifying the shot. Yes, exactly. 5 seconds to go. Quick inbound, taken by Banks. Boy, that's a defensive breakdown there. You've got 5
seconds first half. Stirtz been frustrated so far.
Boy, look at the defense sucking in.
Abreu a three. Got it! That's a big shot for Drake.
Lead in the first half. You can't do that against Drake.
3-minute drought. Steal by Abreu. Pierre follows. Got the layup. Defense leads the offense.
Wide open Howard from the corner.
They're not going to guard him. They're going to stay in the paint. He can't switch. Feet aren't good enough.
Jackson sets the pick for Stirtz. Howard wide open look again. Confidence. And to state what they did in the NIT and go,
They got the championship game in Seton Hall. Communication mistake there by Southern, the defensive end.
and now does it again, and the foul. Had at least 20 wins. But this year, as you mentioned, it's a new band of leaders. It starts with Ben McCollum, and it starts in, well,
Defensive switch, and Chase Martin guarding him for a moment. Pass comes inside the Banks. The move around it the first time. Stirtz works his way into the lane. Isaiah Howard to the basket. Draws the foul, counts the basket, and he gets fouled. About Missouri State, this young team having trouble finishing in the last 3 minutes. Nevertheless, get the feeling maybe nobody would really want to play them in the tournament, as Drake gets a three from Stirtz.
Stirtz on the drive. Drake looks to reclaim the lead. Dishing, Stirtz. Layup is good. That's Banks on the finish. Here in the first half as we resume action, Drake with the basketball. Stirtz kicks, another three flies. This one on target from the corner. Again, inside out pass, but quick extra touch there. Stirtz finds a lane, dishes to the flyer inside, and another finish at the rack from Banks. Tavion. Stirtz one way, then another. The distribution pure, it's good for Manyao, who just checked into.
May have been better served just to go get the finish there. This is where Stirtz is dangerous now.
The kick, Abreu, open three. Drake will end the half with their large. Comer into the lane, had it stripped on the way up by Stirtz. That's a takeaway. Transition opportunity. Banks through contact, no foul, but the basket is good for Tavion Banks. Mascari now back over to Stirtz. 5 to shoot. Abreu, the shot fake, the drive, putting it up and in. Tough shot, got it to go. Timeout Bulldogs.
He earned a first round bye. That's big.
Huge, plus you get a later start time.
Manyao on the pass from Stirtz, and that's how Drake opens the second half. Middle ball cuts. Yeah, Schmidt got over there to seal that off. Down to Manyao. Good move. Got to the other side of the 10.
Well, great delivery.
Stovall has it taken away by Stirtz. Stirtz ahead to Jackson for 2 more, and it's 7-0.
Gets a wide open three. Showed a little bit of a 2-3 zone, and then they flexed out back into man-to-man, but it doesn't matter. Stirtz just picks them apart.
Isaiah Jackson. Bennett Stirtz dumps it off. Jackson layup is good. 2 more for Isaiah. Stirtz off the screen, dumps it off. Manyao gets the lay-in. Manyao, 13.
Then Lenny Wilkins. How about Jason Williams? How about Jason Williams?
There you go.
There you go. The little one-handed pass for an easy basket.
Yeah. Manyao adds 2 to his total.
Tell you what, Canceleras is quietly having a nice game here.
That's a nice take by Nate Ferguson, the 6'8 senior guy.
If you're going to ask, yeah.
Stirtz with the dump off. And now Howard, Isaiah Howard, the freshman, able to finish.
Of the 44 bench points for Drake in that victory.
They've a lot of questions. Does Drake bench strong enough to keep them going? They answer the question there. Great play. Time out of bounds. 4-score. He needs to step up big. And now they take Duke Dean. They're going to put him on Stirtz. Use quickness. First they had Davis with size.
Mitch Mascari again. Boy, look at the confidence in Mitch. Bulldogs had 15 steals against the Braves last time they played. Manyao gets loose. Beautiful pocket pass from Stirtz.
No look.
Don't win the Valley tournament, that they're probably on the outside looking in for the Nationals.
There's a lot of talk about that, Clay, and a lot of discussion about a team that could win 30 games. And we saw it last year with Indiana State.
That is just immaculate.
It was epic. Nice little give and go there, and a high arcing layup, good for Tavion Banks.
Tavion Banks didn't score. The fouled 3 guys out just because of his prowess in the paint.
Stirtz will pass it out. Swish on a 3 from Isaiah Howard. Drake with the ball. Drake wearing the whites tonight. Abreu left open for a three, spins it in. First bounce pass, that looked kind of strange. Combs again at the shot clock horn, gets it in. Cale Combs. Now the other 11. Combs with 13 points in the game. Stirtz, nice give and go inside, hanging and scoring, and a foul as well. This Drake team is, you counted 6 guys playing their first year of D1 basketball, and nobody panics when the shot clock gets down to 8. Right there, Mascari, proving our point.
And just made
Bennett Stirtz kicks the ball back outside.
Well, you go back to the Drake Bulldogs using that shot clock, and there's just a great feed. Stirtz always has his heads up, gets a great feed.
Aaron Gray. And the Bulldogs quickly get down the court offensively. They'll take the fast break when they get it. That time they got it, and they got a foul as well, and a basket by Isaiah Jackson.
That's the thing. The Bulldogs don't waste any time, though. Just getting that transition offense, getting it going, forcing Indiana State to move.
Normally not a range that Isaiah Jackson will take a shot. That's only his weren't falling, so they go inside, and it's being successful.
Well, the only thing you can do is just a great pass there, Stirtz, and a great cut.
Abreu with the dozen points.
Taste their own medicine. They're just in the pocket, have the hands, really playing physical.
Abreu for 3. He has been red hot from 3. That is his 3rd 3 of the ball game and his 5th.
Disrupting the offensive flow of the Bulldogs. They've been able to be in the pocket, and they've been really playing physical.
Stirtz with a nice pocket pass to Tavian Banks, who scores his first bucket.
Had some great success getting 30 or more wins, too. And we talk about Stirtz that when he was at Indiana State, had similar to the success at the D2 program.
And Mascari. Here's Stirtz, passes right back to Banks, and he scores. And the Bulldogs with a quick 4 points to start the overtime.
Missed opportunities by the Racers. Howard for Drake. Going to break that game against Murray despite the loss. And 13 points and 6 boards as Mascari going to repeat it again. We were talking with Steve Prohm, even though Drake is leading the league, he likes this matchup. What a move for Tavian Banks. A reverse in midair.
Well, Milton has drawn the assignment on Stirtz since Ferguson's gone out.
Stirtz, little pocket pass to Banks, and he does the rest. Well, is there a better passer inside in Mississippi State? Went to Portland for a while, and this is his 2nd year at Murray. Banks found a seam, kisses it off the window, and draws the contact.
Fantastic quick step, long stride, hard to stay in front of him.
Here's Stirtz. Pass out to their 3-point line, and Daniel Abreu knocks it down. Another grad transfer from North.
Drake Bulldogs get scored on an OB play.
Banks answers back for Drake. He's got 8.
They're going to switch it.
Stirtz never takes a break. Great feed on the baseline to Combs.
Oh, Sheridan Sharp got that great point play. He's got very few minutes.
On the reverse, Banks, good touch.
Well, that time it was Mayo who turned it.
Line the rest of the game. 5 to shoot. Stirtz drives again. Lobs it up. Popping it in on the other side is Banks. How pretty was that?
Stirtz. Drake as a team shoots better than 48% from the floor. Manyao on the drive, gets the lay-in, and the first bucket up.
Shooter, that time going in 2-point land, hasn't found a consistent option on offense so far for the Panthers, but he could be big in this one. Is rinse and repeat from the last possession. The lineup on the floor for the Panthers, especially without Leon Bond, having Titan Anderson out of the game as well as Trey Campbell. Interesting to see where they go for offense as an
Stirtz working off Schmidt out to the corner. Abreu for 3. 7 made.
To be able to penetrate it, it's what UIC had some luck with, also Murray in the 2 losses.
Nate Ferguson, who's a holdover from last year, and boy, you see why there.
Little percentage and defensive rebound percentage, and that's the entire world. They're the only one.
3 out front, up and good, and there he is again, Mascari.
Well, he had an entire time. Going to get to a side ball screen and a high-low. Here a handoff for Stirtz, and he's lobbing it going left now. So he can do it going left when he throws it with his right, but that's when you allow them. Middle ball screen now turns into a side ball screen, and Stirtz will keep it in his hands until he can get someone a lay-in. What a great play by Stirtz.
More pressure on number 14 in blue.
Now, every coach obviously has Stirtz circled on their scouting report, and it's interesting to see the different ways they try to defend him. As that time, he slips but gets the pass to Isaiah Jackson.
Yeah. This is, and it is hard if you're a team that wants to get out and run because of how slow Drake is on both ends. Is a heck of a finish on the roll. Well, Schwieger got to be aggressive, continuing to go to the rim to settle in this Beacon offense.
Stirtz with the kick, Abreu with a 3, tries to wish. Abreu with an 8-point first indicates something about the significance that Ben McCollum feels about this game. Mascari has been red hot, he still is. 70 assists last year, 2nd in the NBC. Bulldogs with the shot clock winding down in the half. Get the ball to Howard, and Howard threads a 3. Hasn't taken a lot of those.
Roll the dice, wanting 2 of his starters to stay on the floor despite having 3 fouls.
Stirtz, baseline, Banks. There's another 2 for Tavian Banks. 6 off the bench tonight for the junior college transfer.
Buckets with the stop for Valpo, just good for the confidence.
And then the Bulldogs patiently run the offense till Stirtz finds Banks.
So what do you...
Corner where he loves to shoot the 3 ball. Now he sets a screen. Stirtz can't get around him. Mascari fires for 3, and the pass banks in. The shot banks in, and that is another. Here's Mascari. Shot clock is at 7. In deep is Jackson. Shot clock is at 4. Mascari has been red hot. Still is.
But watch this Drake team get out in passing lanes.
Drake averaging 9 steals per game. Here's Mascari, their 3-point specialist, hit it. He was also looking at the official. Five turnovers for Indiana State, and Mascari is feeling it here in the first half.
So we're going to really push tempo. Manyau's got a mismatch inside.
And Manyau finishes on the other side of the rim despite a lot of pressure.
Great vision, black brace laced on there. He is not fully recovered.
Mascari, good shot fake to clear himself, and he nails it. 4-3 for Mitch Mascari.
Assist to turnover ratio and minutes played.
Yeah, he never leaves the floor, it seems.
It's 38 minutes and with his wind gusts up to 40.
Mascari, his... Stirtz to a flashing Manyau, and he'll slam it down.
He felt the double team. Now he's been locked onto Mascari.
Boy, Banks from Stirtz. That is a beautifully threaded pass from Bennett Stirtz.
So what they're doing, they got Mascari. They just got Mascari parked on the left side. Playing, it opens that up for all his drives.
Stirtz again, a nice pass. Great patience by this offense as Banks comes 40 to go. 21-point lead. It's the largest lead of the game for Drake. Alley-oop, and Banks will flush it down.
Again, they have Mascari.
Talked about it already. 1st in assists per game in the Valley, 1st in steals per game, 2nd in scoring. He has been the leader for this Drake team, creating an opening again for a break.
Boost that they've gotten the last week and a half. 9 points against Evansville, 10 against Bradley. And Drake's offense, Banks went underneath him.
That's a tough matchup underneath for Dalton Banks and Tavian Banks. We talked about his scoring, but that rebounding on the offensive side has gotten rebounds in big spots, and his hustle.
Screeners come back up top. Coach P said Stirtz is a wizard in ball screen situations. Just makes the right decision.
Brad, in his career as a UNI Panther, doing the same here in Redbird Black.
8 points now for Wolf. And the soft touch, little finger roll from Combe games last season. Contributor down the stretch. Abreu will fire another three. That one falls. Abreu for 40 minutes.
Yeah, and you need your guys that are fifth-year players like Dalton Banks to be able to step up and help lead through his effort, and coming off the bench in double figures. As we see Abreu
get off, Drake maintains a 2-point lead.
And remember that one, Brad, just by the fingernail of Chase Walker as we come down these last 3 minutes.
Oh, and then Mascari adds a three.
In the paint, you make the big man spin, and Mania right there to strip him of the basketball.
Abreu for three. His 24th three-pointer of the season.
Lineup here in the second half.
And if there's anybody on Ben McCullum's team that he wants on Tayshawn Comer, it would be Isaiah Jackson. Nice shot by Cale Combs to end a Bulldog stretch that went.
Have the numbers, so he pulled it back up, and they're going to run a little clock here.
Stirtz tries to shovel on the pass, and he gets it in tight to Cam Maniau. That was another tight window, but he found Maniau.
Tested, but we're not able to convert.
Shot clock at 5. Banks in deep. Scores it.
They run that action so. Evansville going to be a little bit more aggressive as they got Comer on Stirtz, but it didn't pay off. That aggressiveness, they got the high screen and the lob.
Stirtz directing the offense, pointing as he always does, leading the way for who should get the ball. Abreu looking for three. And Abreu in double figures with a dozen.
Mascari hassles him. Mascari has the steal. Combs for Stirtz. Layup for Howard. Trails nicely, the freshman of junior college. They play in the Sun Belt at Troy for 1 year. Was the Sun Belt freshman of the year. Combs in traffic, tough shot. And we get that away over Thomas Justin.
Listen, let your big man go to work.
Had a first double-figure score of the game tonight. He's got 10. Stirtz still no field goals. Nice roll, Ferguson to the basket for the easy hammer. Nate Ferguson for 2. 6 points, 4 rebounds off the bench for Isaiah Howard tonight. Stirtz feeding. Banks gathers, lays it in for 2.
And again, it's the spacing. Banks making the record.
4 assists for Stirtz. No field goals in the game, and his team is up. Make it 5 assists. Good feed. Banks 2 more. Continues the huge night.
They have to figure out an offensive set that they can go to. They get high look opportunities.
Mascari wants another. Has another for Drake. Ben McCollum in front of us. Pump for defense for Bradley. Dean running. First didn't see it coming. Turn right back over to Stirtz. On a bounce for Howard. The freshman hits for 2 more. Was pumped 2. He's pumped. Ferguson. Mascari. Faking a 3, 5 to shoot. Back to Stirtz with 4. Mascari long 3. Airborne. Got it! Another for Drake. Mitch Mascari.
Stirtz for Maniau. Underneath. Great adjustment for Cam Maniau for the first basket.
Drake will middle.
And he gives the Racers their largest lead at 5.
Ferguson has been really good on Stirtz at this end.
Mascari for 3. Yes! Boy, they needed that.
It's
at Northwest Missouri last year. Already half that many this season. Has 1 today. They drop it inside for Banks, and he got it.
There's Stirtz. The adjustments at halftime.
Wood throws it right into the hands of Stirtz. It's a 2-on-1. Stirtz lobbing it back, and finishing is Combs.
Basket, big time. Crossover ankle breaker.
Mascari tries to answer, and he does.
I don't think Drake has anyone that can contest or block his 2-foot, one-hand jump shot.
Stirtz weaving and Maniau finishing. Drake on the board.
And Drake has that early on, this early afternoon game.
Stirtz plunging in. Another feed, another finish for Manyao.
Yeah, that's a tough action.
This is it. And another Drake steal. Here the Bulldogs go. Stirtz. And to Banks for the finish.
Yeah, I have to credit Drake with just quick transition a fair bit. And really just one of the most well-respected coaches in the game, period. And his team always plays the game the right way, always has good kids.
And Abreu cashes for 3. Stirtz goes to work. He is so dangerous as he goes down low. Banks for 2.
Yeah, really heads-up play and awareness by Stirtz that time. And the rebound, that last possession, the shot went up. Everybody took off down to the other end. Drake got the offensive board.
Stirtz down to Manyao.
Yeah, and again, just that is off-ball help side.
Stirtz probing. Now it's Manyao and a foul.
Yeah, and again, that time.
Jackson. Down to 3 on the shot clock. Behind the back, Jackson finishes.
Nasty play by Stirtz. That's 2 or 3 years here, but certainly an outstanding first season for Coach McCollum.
Mascari from the top of the key. The local kid makes his first.
Overly emphasizing him on offense, and he was almost a liability on defense.
On the pick and roll, Banks has it easy.
Yeah, just nice heads-up play by Drake. And again, literally 50% of Drake's offensive production coming from one person.
Ferguson over Pickett to tie us at 63. And bested 23 of Drake's 26 buckets. Gives it up. Abreu, teardrop, rattles in. One possession game.
For open looks, that one just unable to go down.
Stirtz out to Mascari, a long triple, and it's good. Mascari, that's the 9th for the Bruins here in the first half.
Part of how this Drake team grinds you out is after those turnovers, willing to go slow, force you to defend, and then out-execute you.
17-point lead for the Bulldogs. Stirtz dumps it off. Ferguson underneath. Reverse layup. He has 5.
It's going to drive Casey Alexander crazy. A good opportunity in transition, just unable to corral it.
Stirtz to Manyao, challenged by Sharnowski. And Sharnowski called for Banks. Stirtz to kick out Abreu for 3 is good. Abreu into double.
1-1-ish pressure, just trying to control pace and tempo.
Stirtz finds Manyao. Manyao finds his second basket.
That's that pick and roll offense. I mean, that is
below their season scoring average.
Yeah, Drake's been really good on the defensive side and really good rebounding. And part of, again, that short roll. I mean, just great facilitation, good timing from Bennett.
Injured late in the ball game against Michigan Tech on Wednesday. They hoped he would be back, and he is at full strength. Nice speed once again. It starts to Jackson, and Jackson, who's
about the pace. And remember, I know you mentioned it at the beginning, Larry, but the nation's leading scorer not here, Anthony Roy, on this Green Bay team, is the pick and roll. I mean, it's just Stirtz.
And by the way, have played the toughest schedule of those 4. Here's Jackson taking it to the rack. Well, he got the message about it being a little more offensive. Did a little bit of trouble to find a nice bailout in Stirtz.
A bit of a zone look here from Green Bay, zoning up on the backside of those screens as Isaiah Jackson gets himself into double.
Career high as he is a freshman in this Phoenix program.
And attacking right at Mitch Mascari, who has those 3 fouls, had to kind of back up as we see another nice find. Bennett Stirtz, and who else? I mean, we're saying is the opposite baseline guy, cutting hard to the backside. Good find from Wonders. So Selka able to finish up and under.
And there's a beautiful pass. Stirtz to Banks, and Banks, couple of clutch baskets. Bulldogs now will pull it out and chew up a little bit of time here in the game's final minute. The drive by Stirtz, and he leaves it for Manyao. 16 for Kansas.
Look at the Drake starting five. 4 of the 5. Jackson, Stirtz, Mascari, and Abreu. And right out of the chute, there is Mascari doing what he does, hitting a... There's Drake looking to add to an early 5-0 lead. Here's Stirtz, blind pass underneath, laid in by Manuel. And here are the Bulldogs making a very...
It didn't move out of McDaniel's hands. When they're moving side to side, Wildcats are much more effective.
Stirtz, lob, stuff, Manuel.
The ball pressure on Stirtz.
Banks aggressively to the rim. Tavion Banks comes off the bench. He is.
Drake winners of 25 in a row on their home court. That is third best in the country. Houston and UConn tied for number 1. Going right to the paint is Cam Manuel.
And that's one of the differences. You talk about an NA.
Staying within 4 points of Drake early, 3 minutes into the contest. Stirtz, the lob for Manuel. Manuel with 5 of the Bulldogs' first 12. To Holy Cross, 74-69. They were down 19-4 in that ball game. Rallied back, got within 2, but couldn't finish. Nice move inside.
Tavion Banks.
Coach. And you saw his assistant, Jim Kiss, just a part-time assistant. Stirtz with the takeaway. Stirtz with a lob and the finish by Banks.
Tavion Banks doing some of the mainstays from Northwest Missouri State. Built up some wins, but now getting a chance to Abreu out in transition. Nice find from Stirtz. Abreu able to get that one up to go finish, but
come up with 3 steals in this one.
And that we talk a lot about his offense, but Bennett Stirtz really solid on the defensive end. Active hands as Tavion Banks knocking down that one.
Combs of Wyoming last year, played in 26 ball games, averaged a little less than 3 points a game. Howard lines up for 3. Isaiah Howard with his...
Now it's the freshman McNair on him. Stirtz turns the corner. Again, he'll look to drive and pass, and Abreu is open for 3. And a very good three-point shooter is Danny.
That was a difficult shot that he made.
Stirtz unable to get this shot off. Now he lobs for Banks, and he got Schmidt off his feet. And then when he came down, Banks went up and put it in off the glass. Tough call against Isaiah Shaw. We'll put it as politely as possible when we see that arm extended there. And a chance for a three-point play. So what a turn of events there. Abreu off the inbounds.
They're staying with Shaw. And so if that a defender can't get through, that's leaving Valpo open players.
The lob, Stirtz to Manuel.
The right hand on the left side.
Bulldogs with an early 11-point lead. It has been shaved to 5. Stirtz finds an open Tavion Banks.
Just elite. I mean, that's just elite offense. Looks like
in the championship game of the Charleston Classic. Stirtz finds an open Mascari. A defender flies by, and Mascari buries the 3, his second 3 of the ball game. And really done a nice job on the defensive end. Forced the Bulldogs into a couple of shot clock violations. Here's Stirtz with 4 on the shot clock, and again the Bulldogs winding the shot clock down, but a bailout and Abreu with the best. That's up front.
Yeah.
Abreu hands to Stirtz. Stirtz, the MVP of the Charleston Classic, finds Abreu for 3.
Yeah, a little crisper, right? I mean, just a little bit better spacing. That Brown, at 6'8", able to sky over everyone and get that finish.
No, 6'7" Tavion Banks as well. From the corner, the 3 ball knocked down by Isaiah Jackson. That's only the second. And the Bulldogs prepping for their conference opener against Valparaiso on Thursday night. Stirtz finds an open Mascari. Mascari buries the 3.
And the spacing. And now building some early seeds of success here.
Stirtz the lob and Manuel the finish.
The space.
Sí, al tratar de evitar de que le dé la vuelta, le pone el pecho y con esto se da la primera falta, de hecho, en todo el partido para el equipo de Vanderbilt.
Y aquí la canasta, inmediatamente lo ponen en movimiento. 150 por jugar. Stirtz. El pase a la pintura, lo encontró solo. Lindo pase, totalmente solo. Stirtz. El pase. Girando, se acomoda y anota con una mano. Maniao.
27, máximo anotador de Vanderbilt. Lo vuelve a poner en ventaja 29-27.
¿Quién llegará primero a 20 unidades, Maniau o Edwards?
Yo creo que Edwards. Sin embargo, el pase de Stirtz fue bastante bueno para que no. Jugó bien Drake. Stirtz. Triplazo. Otra vez Mascari. Llevan 2 triples consecutivos. Pero inmediatamente llegó el tapón. Sin embargo, estaba atento Jackson. Pase afuera. Rebotado con Stirtz. Intenta. Triplazo. Espectacular.
Le hicieron ese bloqueo.
Eso es cierto. Stirtz. En la esquina. Triplazo desde la esquina, Abreu. La finta, penetra Stirtz. Vuelve al perímetro. Stirtz, el pase corto en la pintura, la flota y anota. Linda canasta de Banks.
O Hogarth, ¿no? Que sí ha tenido un partido muy malo.
Aquí vuelve a Robaqué. Penetrando, Stirtz, el pase, la pintura. Lo dejó solo.
El único problemado en cuanto a faltas es McLaughlin con 3. Alguien más, Kerry tiene 2 y la mayoría de los jugadores o nada o una falta personal, que es un número.
Triple. En el lado, rebote que viene consiguiendo Stirtz. El pase arriba, la pintura. Tablero y doble contando a la canasta. Linda jugada. Y el pase.
They've got Glenn in as one big and Carroll in as the other. So now their offense will flow a little differently.
Abreu's third three-point attempt, and this one is good. Third time's the charm.
Together, they're comfortable either way.
Counting down to 5 minutes to go in the first half. It has been a close contest throughout. And now Mascari. Oh, that's Andrew Aaliyah with variety.
He really spaces the floor extremely well for Drake.
He's made 4 threes today. Make it 5. Right on cue. Mitch Mascari, number 20. Those 4 D2 transfers on the floor, but it's the one who isn't who gets the bucket. Tavion Banks.
That's a special young man. I tell you, there's so many stories. Nobody dislikes Bobby Crennel.
Jackson puts one up and knocks it down. A reluctant shooter. Maybe. Now the handoff to Mascari. 5 to shoot. Inside Banks.
They use that high post. Again, they use the high post. Like I said, it's a contrast in style. A lot of it has to do with the way Drake handles the basketball, take their time scoring.
Nice pocket pass. Stirtz to Maniau.
Maniau does it.
And Pack, all with 5 points, but that is the top scorer for the Miami Hurricanes. Here's a lob, and Nate Ferguson finishes the alley-oop from Stirtz.
And we're setting them down and make sure they get good looks.
Here's another lob, and they get the same result. Stirtz to Ferguson.
I'm sure they're going to...
5-point Drake lead with the basketball. Under a minute to go. Another lob. Could they do it again? Yes, they can.
Lanes. It creates easier three-point shots.
Bennett Stirtz, backdoor Jackson. What a start for the Bulldogs.
Sir.
Jackson with the pitch for Abreu. Now Stirtz down the lane. He kicks for Maniau. Maniau goes up and scores. An up and under move by Ken Maniau, the transfer from Wyoming. Now down by 3. So, yeah, they've come back, but have not been able to close the deal. And even Coach Chambers says part of that is their youth. Ferguson goes inside. He draws the foul, and he will go to the line. The Bulldogs attacking the paint. Success turnovers as we near the 5-minute mark in the first half. Ferguson drives the lane and scores.
And again, it's the aggressive.
Florida Gulf Coast now 0 of 5 shooting the 3 ball. Stirtz with the penetration. Abreu is open. Knocks down his second 3 of the night, and he's in the Bulldogs. He's also drawn 7 fouls. Puts the ball to the court. Here's the shot by Abreu for 3, and the Bulldogs take the lead on the Daniel Abreu.
With good opportunities, especially around the rim. Most of them have been individually created. Not a lot of threes as Mascari. That is That is, if you're Coach Keller, that is unacceptable.
And it comes to Stirtz. Stirtz quickly takes it to the paint. The lob for Ferguson. Jackson finds Abreu. Abreu bottled up inside. Mascari looking for his 7th three of the ball game. He got it. Make that his 8th three of the ball game. But the Bulldogs have another chance at it.
And loose ball opportunities.
There's the kaboom.
Loose ball opportunity. Yeah, for Nate Ferguson. I mean, 4 years in one program at one place, but a new look. Here we go. Look out.
He still can finish.
And BJ, that's what he does best. Nate Ferguson.
That paid a little short by Dixon. Here's Abreu from 15.
Just so smart, just so crafty, not getting as you mentioned, BJ, carrying it forward to his time now in Drake Bulldog, white and blue.
And how about the triple? Another one for the Bulldogs. Mascari. Now to Stirtz, to Ferguson. The extra pass will pay off.
Now how about that ball movement? Great patience. Passing.
The 6'5" junior out of Omaha, Nebraska gets into the scoring column. Here's Abreu. Speaking of scoring column.
That's just too easy. Not a lot of backside help for the Panthers.
One tipped away. Jackson up with it to Abreu. From the corner, the three. Got it! Look, he's... By the way, 27 in the game for Abreu is a career high for him. This three, good from Alia. Now Stirtz sets up the offense to Combs in the paint. Great ball movement again.
4 for 4. There's Stirtz, Conference Player of the Year. They named their MVP after Larry Bird, who played at Indiana.
If you're missing threes continually, maybe Pierre needs to get downhill and drive the ball to the basket, put more pressure on Drake's defense.
Witt returns the favor and then coughs it up.
Isaiah Howard.
Plattsburgh, Missouri coming at you.
Stirtz is called for the travel. Southern with a little mini run right now, trying to slow down.
And up, one over the top. They've kept Stirtz under control.
Yeah, they have. I was just going to say the same thing. Sykes trying to go coast to coast.
9 in the league in steals per game. Shot clock is inside 8. The feed is too tall for Isaiah Jackson, and running it down is Wesley Oba. Oba hands off, and the shot.
Abreu.
Quick baseline move, but unable to get open is Martin. The ball stolen by Stirtz. It's knocked out of bounds, and it will go back to Missouri State. Doug Sturmans, Brooke Wells, and
relinquish that role. And
Look
that's
in.
a bad pass.
Timeout on the court. The defensive slugfest. The pace quickens a little bit here. Stirtz dishes, intercepted by Comer. The takeaway. He's on the drive into the lane. They have yet to score. The Aces on a 9-0 run to open the half. Stirtz, fall away, won't count. Shuffle the feet and travel.
A remarkable year. They can secure at least a share of the Missouri Valley title with a win today.
A huge, intense rivalry between the in-state schools. Polk is locked on Mascari. He's not going to get him any looks.
Stirtz trying to make an extra pass to Mania across the lane. It's out of bounds. So Northern Iowa will get it back. Coming.
And Montgomery, he was 0 for 5 from outside the arc, even though he had 17 points in that game. And now here's a Braves takeaway. It's been back and forth. Stirtz, little travel there in the lane.
Pulled the pivot foot. Great job by Bradley. To emergency switch by
And even though he turned it over, Chase Walker, a pretty good passer out of the post area as well.
Stirtz had it stripped away and off to his leg and out of bounds. Good defense inside there, but I mean, you're right with the comments you made earlier about them just not panicking when the shot clock gets into single digits. That was a rare miscue with the clock in single digits. And again, that shot clock is in single digits. And the pass stolen away. Doherty will wait and hand it off. Pence. Defenses in the country, if not the longest, depending on how the stats vary from game to game.
When you dissect them, if you look at how they move without the basketball, no one's just standing. They spread that floor, make it tough to turn over by the Bulldogs. It really wasn't forced.
Teal's just so quick. The lob inside intended for Manuel. Teal gets a hand on it. There's a tie. Less than a second differential. Shot clock in the end of the first half. Stirtz attacks. Looks for Ferguson, but it's intercepted. Walker with a desperate heave that will.
Well, unable to get that one to convert. 70% from the free throw line. Able to get that three-point play this time.
Mascari losing the basketball out of bounds. He said, no, I didn't.
They're able to get a defensive stop. They're able to score within seconds, get the ball down the floor, and be able to attack the offense. If they get something going just right there.
Bulldogs guilty of their.
But able to take him out of the game for the most part.
Jackson with the rebound of the Teal miss. Stirtz bottled up in the corner. Tries to find Abreu.
He's an average.
Play is like going to the dentist. They just grind you. A rare miscue by Stirtz.
5 minutes to go. Lead is 12 for Drake. There's that pocket pass again. He was a little bit low at Banks' feet, and he couldn't recover it.
Again, there's that ball screen. Nail gets hung up on Manuel.
Steffi pokes it away, and Diva will lock it down for Southern Illinois.
Guard, but he's kind of turned on the juice that this is his team, Kennard Davis, and playing with great confidence in the last 5 games.
Stirtz wanted a reach-in foul going to the rack. He's a game changer for the Salukis.
Well, they're getting a lot of mileage with Hensley on the bench. At some point, you can bring Hensley back in.
Diva knocked that pass away. 3-on-2 break. Mayo is
much and good reason. He leads the Missouri Valley Conference with over 17 points per game. Leads the conference in assists and steals.
And a rare sight there. Last couple.
To have a guy like that to help down low.
Yeah, Manuel is a guy that does lots of stuff. He's done a nice.
The offense pretty much starts and stops with him.
He's going to have the ball in his hands 80% of the time.
Well, that pass is knocked away. Good job inside by Jaden Daughtry. Now Allison.
During the kick out, that was as good as you can draw it up for the Sycamores.
Off the steal, Legree. Nice step over to finish around Stirtz.
And Drake has read it perfectly.
There's Legree with that athleticism. He's not going to be able to keep it in bounds, but he looked like a defensive back.
Credit for their defense. Offensively, pretty efficient basketball team this season. A turnover right here, though, is Wolf with the takeaway.
Brad, you mentioned
early, they just could not get it to him, and good recovery by the Aces.
So he goes the other way. That ball was deflected, and it's run down by Cuff. Hughes that time coming up with a block.
He was really active.
Instead of stringing it out, looking to pass.
Dodge leading scorer. Bennett Stirtz drives the basket this time. Lost the handle on the way up. It's out of bounds and not stripped by Brave. Right back to Bradley.
Lindsey's playing with a tender Achilles because he looked pretty smooth there.
And he's got a piece of cotton stuck in that left nostril.
Harcum is going to be fouled. It's going to be on Banks.
Stirtz can hit the screen there.
Now Harcum getting down on the deck. They're going to call jump ball in the possession area.
Nice play. Took the baseline. Lindsey. Basket dive.
Off the foot of Lindsey. Here comes Murray State. It's got numbers. And the finish.
With the Slovenian national team. That was at the 2023 FIBA World Cup. teaming up with one of the world's best as UIC goes full court, forces a turnover.
Yeah, Coach McCollum.
Another turnover for Carter Witt. That's 7 for him so far in this game.
It's a feed inside. Rogers coming away with the takeaway.
How about the Bulldog ballots? 3 players, 11 points apiece. Mascari with none. So that's the mark of a winning team.
Yes.
When different people participate. Out of bounds, off of Drake.
Shooters not being able to make shots from the perimeter and slowing down with Isaiah and Jackson and Banks being the primary 2 offensive creators and finishers.
Rare loss by Stirtz.
50-50 play between he and Maniau.
Stirtz lobs inside looking for Maniau, but O'Hara got a hand on the ball and comes up with a steal for Green Bay. And the Bulldogs turn it.
Defense.
Stirtz trying to get it back to Ferguson, and it's stolen. It's the second Drake turnover of the half. His own miss. Aaron right back to him after a deflection. Stirtz. Maniau wasn't moving towards the basket, had to reach, and it's another turnover. That's their 5th. 4 of them in the... Haas and a steal.
Finds Howard. Howard again getting really extensive playing time tonight, and probably the same story for Cale Combs. A couple of guys that Ben McCollum just wants to get a lot more minutes.
With Bennett Stirtz that time, could be a big help for this Drake offense if he gets a little more confidence going to the rim.
Bulldogs with the possession, the offensive rebound by Abreu, but the takeaway by Will Spriggs. Again, the Bulldogs being methodical on offense, looking for a high percentage shot. Stirtz goes baseline, nothing going there, and it's taken away from him by Dante Horn. Horn pulls up, fine, nothing going there. Another takeaway by Bennett Stirtz. Jackson finds Stirtz, and the ball knocked out of bounds, and it's the last touch by Drake, and so it will be George. That's on the season are from the three-point line. It's been the case again today. Clear out for Stirtz, and then he bounces it off the sneaker. So the turnover will give it to Georgia Southern.
Esa canasta de Hoffman termina con una racha de 6-0 de Drake. Termina robando, y qué bien que lo hizo finalmente para Vanderbilt Tanner. Recupera Drake en el rebote.
Tenía mejor opción con otro de sus compañeros.
El pase arriba, solo y la siembra a 2 manos. Stirtz. La pinta. Terminó pegando finalmente Maniau, con lo cual la...
Dice, no, pues mejor nos damos la posesión desde la línea de base.
El pase. Abreu alcanzó a llegar Maniau, pero se le escapó. Será posesión para... Pase afuera, terminó perdiéndola, sin embargo, Hoffman. Hay cancha atrás.
I think they have to foul. And as I say that, they turn it over. Drake turns it over, but...
Banks, number 6 in white, grabbing the rebound.
Miami has 2 things that they have to handle. One, they've got to be able to score, and hopefully this fast break will get them going a little bit.
Oh, and the freshman. The offensive glass so far.
And how about just the hustle? Banks a couple of times. That time Ferguson. And a nice defensive play that time from McLean, ripping it away from Bennett Stirtz as he won him as an athlete. Wonder why he's first team preseason All-League Defensive Player of the Year. You see the bounce off the floor.
He comes up with a steal, and the Eagles have a chance to regain the lead.
Florida Gulf Coast doing a good job on the offensive end, attacking the rim.
Stirtz, who played for his dad, who was his high school coach, and he just has the men.
Finding big buckets for the Eagles anytime they need them.
McLean, the transfer from Columbia, coming off a 16-point effort against St. Bonaventure. Bulldogs lose it on the turnover, and the ball goes back.
Drake's been a little 3-shot heavy of late, as 10 of their first 16 attempts have come from the 3-point line. Mascari with a nice save almost, but he saves it into the hands of a lumberjack. And then the Bulldogs try to get Matt Heyman on the court as well.
And you just get the sense Bennett, Stirtz, Isaiah Jackson, and Mitch Mascari has received Nate Ferguson slipping that screen a little too long.
Lombard, Illinois, and he's coaching the Bradley Braves from Peoria, and here we go with under 7 to go in the half. Another turnover, and Stirtz has got it. He has scored the last 8 trick.
Belmont is playing it to perfection on defense.
Brody Peebles in for Belmont. Sort of a 2-point guard look, bad pass by Witt. Stirtz, he's fouled, and it feels like he's trying, at this point, knows that he's got to take over the offense and the defense. Good deflection by him.
And that's the problem with Belmont. Keep playing.
Stirtz again gets a hand on a ball.
Third possession in the last 3 possessions.
It's for Carter Witt and Belmont.
Yeah, Abreu's known for his defense, but
Witt loses it.
Got time.
Banyao taken back.
Space. A quick rip through and a nice move for Abreu.
Quick baseline move, but unable to get open is Martin. The ball stolen by Stirtz. It's knocked out of bounds, and it will go back to Missouri State.
Lead back. It's now at 7. It was as many as 11, and Day, a careless pass. Stolen again by Stirtz. Looking for the lob. It wasn't online. So here are the Aces. A basket could give them the lead. Less than a minute remains. Ball on the deck. Stirtz picks the pocket of the Aces, and a rejection.
Stirtz taking this game over here to start the second half.
Titan Anderson doesn't have any points here in the half, and now Northern Iowa is going to turn it over. It's a 7-0 run for Drake.
1 second on the shot clock, ball movement, easy basket.
Stovall has it taken away by Stirtz. Stirtz ahead to Jackson.
You know, in this age of transfers, guys who are playing with their teammates for the first time, as we see another steal, and the kick ahead to Stirtz.
Mason has it knocked away by Abreu. Stirtz with the steal and gets tripped up running down the rebound. Jackson throws it right to Stirtz. Another steal for 14 in white and 2 more points.
Defense is hard to find the way Drake has spread them out.
Braves, after an 0 for 3 start, have made their last 6 shots, but they're going to turn it over again here.
Stirtz.
Banks into the paint, and the pass stolen. Stirtz clear it out. Kinzinger's got to be careful.
22-14. Murray State trying to get on track.
There we go. Ellington inside. Oh, nice job by Mascari. Reached in and poked it loose. Drake is so adept. They lead. Again, defenders don't want to leave Mascari. Smart job to use him as a screener.
Another steal, a 3-on-1. And there is Combs in that
center. And Banks attacking the rim. And McCollum does a great job making adjustments at halftime.
Another steal, Stirtz. He cut off by Steffi.
Underneath the arms of the defense.
To a 3-point lead, another Saluki's turnover. Now Banks driving and will go to the line.
A big possession here for the Panthers. Keep Drake to getting this thing with the chance for double figures going into halftime.
Stirtz with the takeaway ahead to Howard. Free throw shooter on the season, just 1 of 3 this evening. And Stirtz comes away with the steal.
Haven't had to change. Why would you? When you're 17-2, you keep rolling with it. Jackson was out for a little while with some injury, but other guys stepping up all the time, and there Stirtz grabs another.
Teams trading turnovers. You saw Martin with the ball, dribbling in the lane. He goes up, has it stripped loose, stolen away. Loose ball thrown out.
And you have to check your passes with the Bulldogs. You have to drive it on them, and they just don't allow you to you see the steals they get, they do not allow you to run offense.
Brady looking down low. Mike comes out to the wing to get it. That's where they want Mike to catch. And here's a pass stolen away by Stirtz. 3 white jerseys running with him.
54 free throws. His team had shot a dozen. Well, tonight his team's shooting more free throws than are the Bulldogs. Stirtz with the takeaway. And the Bulldogs will pull it out and run out. Gives it up for McNair. Shaw makes the move on Mascari. Defensive help comes from Abreu. Steal by Stirtz. Comes up with yet another one. Banks tries to finish and does.
Made 11 threes and have not been able to hit a 3 yet in this one. There's a good backdoor cut for Teal right through his hands.
Not the turn. We have NFL quarterbacks that throw a ball before their receiver makes a break. Stirtz now with the steal, races to the other end of the floor, gets the lay-in as well. But fun when you get your boyfriend or girlfriend come play in your home arena. Here's Stirtz with the steal as Drake's defense, again, averages.
Conversation with Ben McCullum today about Isaiah Howard and other freshmen, how fans say, well, gee, he's good. Why didn't you start him earlier? Well, McCullum has some really good reasons for that as Stirtz hits the slam.
So, yeah, you know, you get a player like that back into your lineup, well, it gives you more depth. It gives you more rotations that you can put on the floor. It gives you some leadership out there on the floor as well. So they are certainly missing him in this.
7. Drake shooting much better. Hannah harassed on the baseline, out of bounds. Right back to Drake. Low play, Banks receives. Montgomery picks it. Good anticipation that time. Half-court defense for Bradley. Dean running. First didn't see it coming. Turn right back over to Stirtz. On a bounce for Howard, the freshman.
Island Milton. Swinging around. Good defense by Stirtz. Steps in front for the first turnover.
And he attacks the rim. He gets to the free throw line. They're almost 40 times in the last 5 games.
Off the steal, here's Stirtz in free flight. He'll lay it in.
It's amazing. You got to throw that ball inside. Take the crowd out of it.
Turnover. Here comes Stirtz. Manya.
They can't get it to him.
Ferguson backdoor cut. And it's taken away by Drake as Applewhite just couldn't get his hand.
It'll be a slow-paced, low possession game.
Jacoby Woods still no points. Applewhite on the baseline. He'll turn it over. Banks has it stripped by Wood. Back to a single-digit lead.
Same play again. Murray State came after the same play.
Wood throws it right into the hands of Stirtz. It's a 2-on-1. Stirtz lobbing it.
If there's any big man to contend with Siani, it's the 6'8 Manyao, who forces another steal.
Well, active hands, always the sign of a...
To Walker. The kick out 3 from Lundblade, too strong.
That looked good right in front of us that time as Stirtz getting another deflection. Look out.
And there's Witt coming up with a takeaway. Strips Manyao, and now in transition, Belmont gives it right back.
That's going to drive Casey Alexander crazy. A good time. Fought back to get that one against Washington State a little closer, but Washington State prevails in that game in Las Vegas.
That breaks the Panthers' 4-game winning streak. Steal by the Bulldogs to get things started.
Another nice find. Bennett Stirtz just playing maestro with the ball in his hands.
Riedinger looking for help, throws it away. Intercepted by Stirtz. Stirtz, who leads the conference in...
Gassan's pass picked off right to Stirtz. Here comes Stirtz taking it to the rim. He gets fouled from behind.
The length of Kansas State has caused problems. He can't get a shot over the top.
Here's Stirtz taking it and laying it in and making it a 1-point game. So Drake responds. State coming up on the 2-minute mark. Down 4. Dangerous. Stirtz again, a steal. They play on and Abreu cleaning it up.
Shoveling, well, there are many, but one of those is he's never had a full-time assistant coach. And you saw his assistant, Jim Kiss, just a part-time assistant. Stirtz with the takeaway. Stirtz with a lob and the finish by.
Try a few different things. And, you know, I think one thing, new coach coming into a program, and he's got some of the mainstays from Northwest Missouri State, built up some wins, but now getting a chance to Abreu. I think my favorite thing about Bennett, Stirtz gets the ball in the strain and roll. Just it takes whatever the defense gives him. This time getting a turnover, going down the other way.
Stirtz with another wit. The feed intended for Garrison, but knocked away. Bulldogs come up with another turnover, try to finish.
They were down 8, it's down to 6. Big possession here as we're under 3 to go in the half. And there's Stirtz. He's second in the league in steals, and he's got a burnout dunk. And he's in double
time. This is Bradley Douglas. Another takeaway by Drake, and that is already 5 early turnovers against Georgia Southern for Bradley Douglas. Douglas, the starter, who scored 2 thus far today. Smith starts to take into the lane, nothing going there. Another takeaway by Bennett Stirtz. Jackson finds Stirtz. Column as this season wears on. Final minute of play for the Bulldogs can wrap up their 25th consecutive home court victory, and again that will tie Houston.
Unos 10 minutos de agua fría para relajar el cuerpo.
Por favor. Usted y yo lo necesitamos también, le cuento.
Bueno, pero eso ya es por salud de nosotros.
Sí. Tienes que robó. Abreu, 64-75 y esto se va a acabar. Pase afuera, terminó perdiéndola, sin embargo, Hoffman. Últimos segundos. Edwards buscando decorar el resultado. Robot Drake de costa a costa.
Good we are on what we can and can't do. And it's called a litmus test, and you have to do it.
And look at Stirtz with the steal. And the lob! Oh my, that was...
Point performance against Stephen F. Austin.
Ferguson can't handle that one. Bulldogs turn it over for the second time, but it's a swap the other direction. Stirtz comes up with it and a 2-on-1 break. He leads the break and scores.
With the little 3/4 court trap, trying to speed up Drake with the inexperience you mentioned, Larry.
Banks got his hand on the ball, and that forced it loose, and a scramble for it as Isaiah Howard battling for it. And the transfer from Texas, Chris Johnson, brings it into the offensive end, picked up by Isaiah Jackson. And the ball is taken away by Stirtz. And by the way, no, not related to Garrett Stirtz. In fact, the last just over 10 to play, and the Bulldogs holding an 8-point lead. Drake comes with the double team, and it's a takeaway by Stirtz. He finds Mascari. Mascari driving to the base. Christmas unable to finish it that time. Scott picks up a loose basketball. Takeaway by Stirtz. He looks for someone to pass to and gets fouled.
Next days, weeks, probably months, maybe even years.
Those powder blue shoes you thought would give him some extra elevation, but apparently didn't.
And good hands from Mascari that time, knocking it away. Underneath, Isaiah Jackson doing something he does so well. 10th all-time Northwest Missouri State in assists.
Here's Stirtz with the steal and finish. Know who he is.
Yeah, for Nate Ferguson, I mean, 4 years in one program at one place, but a new look. Here we go, look out.
He still can finish. Season. Now York forcing the turnover. Stirtz with the steal. Can he finish it? Yes.
By 1, but lots of turnovers, and they kind of fell apart in the second half of that game.
Mascari hit back-to-back threes to open up that game.
Steffi.
That Drake bench answers a lot of questions about the depth of this team.
Oh, off the knee of Steffi. That's a turnover.
And the end of the first half. Almost a Missouri State turnover. Des White slices inside the defense, throws it up there, and it will not go with one on the shot.
From the same spot in the last few minutes.
Well, we mentioned he'd missed all 5 the other night at Evansville and missed 2 here, but shooters keep shooting it.
Yes.
He has never left.
With the foul situation for Kinziger.
And that also changing this Redbird offense a little bit. Johnny Kinziger, a 5-alarm fire every time.
Again, basically Jackson in the game playing off him and just playing 4 on or 5 on 4, and the Bulldogs again weren't able to get anything open, and Stirtz creates.
Here's Harkin. He had 20 the first time these two teams met. Falling away. Off the mark. Tipped out. Harkin driving with the left hand.
First points for Harkin. Pocket pass back to his center. And Banks attacking the rim. And McCollum does a great job making adjustments at halftime.
Diavero bringing it up and now finding Isaiah Schmidt. Inside the fall away, knocked down by De La Cruz Monegro. He comes in averaging.
Bennett Stirtz's hands going through a screen and roll, letting him read the defense. So good. Elite number 14.
McNair tries to attack against Stirtz, and Stirtz just a terrific pass. The Bulldogs up the lead to 12. The attack by McNair. He misfires on the shot. Banks runs down the rebound.
And yeah, no. There's Legree. Good reverse. Continue to be
And come out as well.
Good conversation with Ben McCollum today about Isaiah Howard and other freshmen. How fans say, well, gee, he's good. Why didn't you start him earlier? Well,
someone's got to step up here offensively. Maybe it's this guy. Superstar Duke Dean, preseason player of the year in the Valley. Short this time baseline.
You watch something good tonight.
Well, the Kansas State game, it was the Matrix. He was not in the Matrix, but he's part of the Matrix.
Harkin cools off from outside.
Bit of a shove on Tavion Banks, grabbing that offensive rebound. The physicality of this second half continues.
Lundblade steps up, launches a 3, and knocks it in. Just the second.
Abreu good, especially from the corners.
There's Lundblade, launches another 3. That one's off the iron.
Good job, Bennett Stirtz. Short. We're down 23 at halftime. Fought back to get that one against Washington State a little closer, but Washington State prevails in that game in Las Vegas.
That breaks the Panthers.
And catch it and try to reload. Good adjustment that time for Coach Ben McCollum and Tavion Banks.
And then Banks, a block at the other end. The shot clock is at 5. And
lanes. Valpo's going to pressure a little more.
And Valpo will switch more on the screens as well. All right, looking for 2. That one's coming up short. And rare to see Mascari even attempt a 2-point shot. He's a 3-point specialist. Here's the transfer Schmidt, and he got fouled going to the goal.
Well, what they do, the shooters run off the post guy, and the post defenders are trying to help on the shooter.
Kiki Tandy, his first field.
Much like Adam Emenecker, gives the Bulldogs a 3-point lead.
Mitch Mascari, a guy that's going to need to do a lot of that in a Drake uniform. 80-plus threes made a year ago.
All 3 of them are really tight. They trade notes and barbs and all of that. Orm off a cut, lays it up and in. That's a big bucket for Belmont.
Oh, good backdoor cut.
Great find by Sense
for such a big, powerful guy.
6'4", 280 pounds out of Bolingbrook, Illinois. The fall away with 2 on the shot clock won't go, and it will be.
Yeah, did a good job defensively again. Anderson gets the pass from Hudson, left it short. Boy, some frustrating.
Averaging, giving up 57.5 points per game. That is number 2 in the country against a 3rd highest scoring team in the Valley, a team averaging 80 points. But it's
right in front of the rim.
Rollins elite back. Hands it off, and Mayo finishes with the left hand.
Big minutes out of this drive off the bounce pass underneath the arms of the defense.
To a 3-point lead, another Saluki.
With a basketball, Drake with the double-digit lead. Their 6th time leading by 10 or more points, and Max Weisbrod takes the back door to 2 of this game. An 80% free throw shooter on the season, just 1 of 3 this evening. And Stirtz comes away with the steal.
Beat Illinois State at home on Wednesday night. Made 11 threes. They have not been able to hit a 3 yet in this one. There's a good backdoor cut for Teal. And ever since then, his role has increased.
We watched that Murray State staff start looking up who is this guy as he came in that game, and it was a huge impact. And
it's over to Wolf. Now Bozer, the backdoor cut by Wolf, and Wolf draws the foul, and that's 3 on Stirtz.
Arlington's got Stirtz in the block. They can't get it to him.
Ferguson backdoor cut. And Wood shot fake. Extra pass.
Nice.
Morgan on the baseline. And 1.
Nice play by Steve Prohm. He ran 3 plus
shot. No one in the country has played more minutes this season than Bennett Stirtz as Mason finishes.
That was a great play call by Coach Eason. He's got to take that. I mean, it was a challenge shot, but he's got to take those to be effective.
Pickett, left-handed finish.
Well, the Flames are doing a good job of just picking up a lot of.
And now Flames in no rush. 15-second differential here. Mason, Freeman, teardrop, a bit off. But there was
recovery from Green Bay to tick this one back down to 7 points.
Wonders finds Oselka. Oselka goes baseline, and the shot rolls off for Rookie. He's just struggling in the second half.
Yeah, and another nice find. Bennett Stirtz just playing maestro with the ball in his hands.
Riedinger looking for help, throws it away.
Confidence, be able to try a few different things. And, you know, I think one thing, new coach coming into a program, and he's got some of the mainstays from Northwest Missouri State built. Yeah, just so dangerous in the pick and roll. And I think my favorite thing about Bennett Stirtz, gets the ball in the strain and roll, just it takes whatever the defense gives him.
The rebound is taken down by Zane Witt. The feed intended for.
Y doble sin problemas para Abreu. 64-75 y esto se va a acabar. Pase afuera.
Nice catch. Inside, Stone makes a nice fingertip catch. He's able to get it to Christmas, and Christmas converts.
Man, a heck of a play by
Flames beat Drake in Chicago. Mason has it knocked away by a
bench roll. Much improved as a shooter and a scorer. One of the leaders on this Valpo team.
Right, fades and fires and misses, and Stirtz is there for the rebound. The opponents had shot 54 free throws. His team had shot a dozen. Well, tonight his team shooting more free throws than are the Bulldogs. Stirtz with the takeaway.
Ferguson gets the deep touch. Here's Dean over Stirtz, partially blocked. Dean's 5-7.
There's almost 3, sometimes 4 guys within 10 to 15 feet of the ball. You're not going to get any good looks doing that.
How about that move from Mason? Siani cleans. And
to try and negate the Drake offense in future games.
Now Stirtz doing the guarding as Jackson gives UIC the lead.
Well, and
3-point attempts, including that last one. Here's Hassan, who's been the best 3-point shooter for K-State, unable to answer at the other end.
Fue mi noche y somos campeones. Ben Stirtz.
Got to learn. He can't get that deep.
5 to shoot. Tandy, step back 3. Too strong off the back iron. Here comes Jackson. 2 in blue.
I think he was really disappointed with the way he shot the ball yesterday.
And an answer from the Owls.
Team clock winding down the first half. Team in red, Bradley down by 2.
They try to get Dean a 3.
Dean was knocked away by Stirtz. Terrific defense. Banks has got the ball ahead on the Bulldog shot.
Remember what Ben McCollum told Evan at halftime, that their best defense is their offense.
Davis missed it all.
And by that, as long as they're running.
Just difficult against this Drake defense.
Schmidt, who will inbound, is a 41% 3-point shooter. McNair fires, misses, Banks for the rebound.
Yeah, that looked like
It is killing the Sycamores.
Another run here for Drake. 6-0 over the last minute 10.
Number 11, the main culprit. He's been running in from that weak side corner.
Contribute to the team in different ways by getting assists or getting steals, going to the glass, and that's exactly what he did.
Hafner misses both free throws, rebounds his own shot. It still does not go down. Down to 10. Recchi tries to drives into traffic, gets the ball back, tries to move in against Stirtz. Stirtz goes for the block, And it's going to be Drake basketball.
Basketball in their hands, finding open teammates.
Chris Johnson, the transfer, gets the ball inside. Making the move is Stone, not there. Again, Drake defense batting it away, but it's picked up by Emmanuel.
Glass, and maybe a little bit of a soft call at the end of that possession, but Southwick earned it.
Johnson with a three, which would have been a big momentum maker for Stephen F. Austin had it gone down. The way
today, 11 points. Davis inside Hannah. Down he goes. On his back. Off to Dean. Three. Good! Boy, they needed that in the wall. Two terrific defensive teams going head-to-head. Montgomery. Shot clock at 8. Dean for three. Good! Another acrobatic trip.
To focus in on trying to take the ball out of Stirtz' hands, forcing the non-shooters to shoot threes.
Corner three. That's Tyler Lundblade, the best shooter.
And would be absolutely horrendous to guard.
an open look for Zaxton King. And the freshman from Lawrence, Kansas has
last 4 minutes.
Mose Downing Rivers has come back in to run the point for Missouri State. And Des White knocks down the three. His second build on their 2-point lead as it comes to Michael Osei-Bonsu. Leaves it for an open King, and King misfires. The ball loose.
Howard and Banks have been so clutch.
Banks with a dozen. White looks for a three. It won't go. The rebound chase.
The possession, and they just keep running the simple action on that middle ball screen for him to make good decisions.
Gabriel Posada's first three at Comer. Now Cuff, shot fake, open. Comer three, missed it long. And the rebound. Looks to drive, gets to the rack, kicks it out. Tesh leans into the three, missed the shot. No foul came. The foul comes.
They run to the rim offensively, Drake Bulldogs. They swarm it. Banks had 19 off the bench in the first meeting. Boy, missing badly there, Kale. Into the corner, there's Schweiger again. Boy, a moment ago, he couldn't miss that.
Now Sasha Ciani attacking Maniau. Again, kicks out. Here's Henderson, same spot. That time off the iron. Henderson, extra pass to the corner. And the three ball is off by Jackson. Now Henderson steps into a three. And the rebound.
Connected and aggressive.
Davis was looking for the foul called on Stirtz, but it didn't.
During their shoot-around today. But shoot-around is one thing. You know, that's at noon. This is a game at 8.
Well, and you can draw up any scheme. Games of knocking down that three ball.
If you watch him a lot, almost a surprise when they don't go down. Wagner tries a three, and Combs is higher for the rebound.
They're able to finish that time.
Harding looking for help. Out of the corner, nothing but net on the three ball by Camp Wagner. He
made an impact right away in the first couple of minutes, and a couple of quick baskets. He's been quiet since. Harcum, another three. This one rattles off.
He's had 2 good looks before he got the rebound. Shoved Ferguson.
Ferguson's going to try it again from the same spot. Now AJ starting to.
Ending like you see here. A lot of guys will get into a deal where they feel like they have to make jumpers.
Three by Des White on the baseline, and the Bears are lighting it up. From
Always fought back. We're seeing that here in the flesh tonight.
They cleared out for Diavero. McNair tries a three. High off the rim. The rebound taken by Isaac.
Falls, slides that one right through the net for the first blood for the Bulldogs.
Harding, not afraid to shoot it from outside.
Find a way to make plays at the end of a shot clock.
Kinziger passed on the three into the lane. Kicks it out to Poindexter. And the rebound.
Can step out and shoot it a little bit, a little more 5 out, get some of those dives, but not quite as dangerous on the interior.
There's a kick out. Wolf short on that three. Both teams. Walker fouled just twice in the first 20 minutes by Drake. Kinziger pull-up jumper, and Kinziger just 4 points in.
As Como was trying to make his move and kept him right out in front, kept him in front, and didn't allow him to get downhill.
And Hafner is feeling it. He's got both baskets. It's now a 19-1 run for Drake in the second half. Trying to put something on the board and getting the job done is K.I. Berridge.
Here's your team. Nice leader in threes made. Three-point shooting has been fantastic this year for Bradley.
Brady was battling with Ellington inside.
Milton left all alone for three. Got it! Barely.
For the Bulldogs.
His second three. He had a three to begin the game tonight as well. That's a long three. Hassan, who's been their best three-point shooter, off the heel, and it bounces out of bounds. Comes Max Jones. Three from C.J. Jones, too long. And a battle underneath of Brayu.
Here. Now McNair, good defense from Stirtz. All right, trying to get one off. Oh, good kick. Monegro's open, and it won't go down. But it ended up being... So can Valpo cut it even further? With this freshman backcourt out there, McNair won't go.
The team shooting it especially well. Off the baseline, the shot won't go by Eugene Brown III. The offensive rebound comes out, and Thomas will fire and miss. And
pase afuera, otra vez con Tanner. Por derecha. Tanner a lo más alto de la llave. Intento del triple que termina fallando, sin embargo.
Controló toda la primera mitad, pero lo que importa es el marcador final. Bueno, ahí a McLaughlin le intentó hacer una jugada y terminó siendo un jugadón.
Good save by Evans Jr. into the hands of Leland Walker. Now Evans Jr. at the other end. And the rebound to Jackson. Look at this ball movement. In and out on the three-ball attempt. At Cops, too. Miller for three. Bulldogs have built quite a culture of winning in Des Moines. They made 3 straight NCAA tournaments on the shoulders of a pair of DeVries's head coach. 10 on the shot clock for the Canes. Skip pass. State McCray. Can't pay it off. The rebound to Ferguson.
And Drake has their biggest lead this afternoon. Dean, it was a 2, and it's collected inside by Mannion.
And it starts, but to your point, Larry, as efficient as it gets, able to knock it down anyway.
White leaves everything off the rim, and the rebound taken by Banks.
Safe to say he'd have been at the top of both those categories.
Bulldogs back to within 7 after trailing a moment ago by 10. A travel call. Bennett.
Only now here, aren't you? Yep. Less and less in the passing lanes.
Here's Cuff, got free. Oh, he left it short. Right at the basket. Wanted a foul called. He joins the double-figure club with the 11. Hard screen by...
Offense by Stirtz. You couldn't have guarded that any better. 15 now for Bennett Stirtz. Campbell trying to answer on the other end off the back iron. And it's
likely to get to 20 in this one.
He's got 5. He had 4 in the first matchup.
Johnson trying to make things happen again. It's tipped out.
Biggest lead for Drake. Steffi, no points today. Gets it back up top. Oh, and there's another foul. It's off.
But the 4 players that came in with Ben McCollum from Northwest Missouri State, 3 have national championship rings. And they're 5th-year guys.
Wrong foot, the opposite foot from Cam Mannion.
And it was the Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Week this week was Bennett Stirtz and Max Wise.
Angles using defensive leverage against him, and looked like there was a little bit of contact. Bennett Stirtz may have had an argument as Trey Campbell going right down the other way. Just
good playmaker out front. Not a big scorer right now, but he does handle the basketball very well. Shot in the lane, up and good by... Right. That one should have been finished. Martin with the ball, dribbling in the lane. He goes up, has it. Bears come away with the rebound. Martin in the lane. His shot is up. No good. He gets the rebound.
And in that dunker spot.
De La Cruz Monegro with it, paired off with Bennett Stirtz. Gets a screen from Sepp, steps back, fires the three. It's long, and the rebound grabbed by Mitch Mascari.
Putting pressure on the defense and does not take long to let that thing fly pure through the net.
Right with the floater to score.
And a big bucket for All Right to make sure to keep the game slow and to get his defense set.
Right in traffic, puts it up, draws a foul.
Combs free run to the rim. No one even put a body near him.
This is Bruno Alifin, freshman from Spain, didn't sign.
The game's just showing some flashes of what he can do, and now he's at the point where he's just becoming very comfortable in the system and really stakes. And going back to Pizzato, yet you get a player like that back into your lineup. Well, it gives you more depth. It gives you more rotations that you can put on the floor. It gives you some lead.
Flames, you have to communicate about who's on the ball, on your switches, and where you are covering your teammate.
And then Jackson slices through a little strong. So here comes
possession during a game like Stirtz is.
Jackson splits the D and the foul.
On the defense, shot clock down to 10. Green Bay really now struggling to score after getting off to a good start. But the bank shot is good by Ben Tweedy for his second bucket. Not missing a shot thus far. Drake down to a 9-player rotation because they have lost a player, at least temporarily, due to injuries. Andrew Ali. The Eagles team, as you say, they love the three, but they have a good penetrator when they can get to McCabe and White. With 2 on the shot clock, the shot by Douglas won't go. And will make the transition with him from D2.
Yeah, that's just been the core of what he's been able to instill culturally in this group. And then adding...
Defensivo y ahora asistiendo en la ofensa.
Aquí la finta y la falta que le termina cometiendo. Edwards que penetra. Lanza de la bomba, falla. Collins se acomoda. Minuto 16 por jugar. Collins con potencia.
Coach, he is a three-point specialist. That was his first 2-point field goal of the season.
Go down and bother Drake.
The Isaiahs come in for Drake, Jackson, and Howard. Offensive foul.
Athlete also can get up and down the floor, runs well in transition. Good job getting that one in, the contested finish.
And tries to take their first lead in the ball game. Just under 8 minutes to play in half number 1. Ragged so far, mostly defense. Big move by Miles to give the Lumber front court against Isaiah Jackson with just over 10 to play, and the Bulldogs holding an 8-point lead. Drake comes with the double team. It's a
lot of shooting from the perimeter. A little bit of a stumble, a little bit of nervousness in that first possession.
And Chris Dixon, who's been averaging 9.
Back-to-back Bulldog baskets have ended the 8-0 run for the Bears. Brady on the drive. Manio there for the defense. And the loose basketball is picked up. Had to be replaced this year for Missouri State. Shot clock down to 14 as we near the minute mark, and a big three knocked down by Des.
Points per game, 6 assists and 2.3 steals per contest. 10 to shoot here for the Aces. Pizzato, leaner, won't go, and he's just not been on target tonight.
About him being a role player. He is not a role player. He is a star player.
There's a floater. UIC is on. There's Jackson. Back to Henderson. Now Henderson on the drive. Up over top of Ferguson. Somehow slides it
off. Again tonight. And I like the way they're getting the paint. They have not been successful, but they're getting it in there.
Lefty got it to go.
Brady the second to King. Penetrates in the lane. Fadeaway jumper. Short. Bears with the offensive rebound. Stirtz usually rolling towards the basket. Nobody picks him up. You get that kind of action. There's a block shot by Drake's Howard. Free throws for Stirtz. 13 seconds to play in overtime. Martin right side. Zaxton King step back three. He knocks it down.
Poindexter. 5 points, a late steal and score against UNI. Been quiet lately.
Timing from Bennett Stirtz.
Reminds me of NFL quarterbacks that throw a ball before their receiver makes a break. Stirtz 7. Bozer out to Wolf. Wolf through contact. He'll get the easy 2 underneath.
Biggs in there going up against Maniau.
Comer's going to initiate a lot of the offense with his drives. Off the three-point shot by Hafner, a foul called on Drake.
And starting to really get after it on the defensive end.
Hafner tries to penetrate. Lots of Bulldogs around him. He turns and scores. And Hafner has the first points. Works against the defensive Mascari. Tries to turn around against him. Has to kick it out for Hafner. Hafner from the corner for 3. And the rebound comes to Stirtz.
7 to shoot here for Duke, right on cue. Davis, 2 to shoot. Step back. Over Stirtz, got a piece of it.
Played his junior college ball at North Iowa Area Community College in Mason City, Iowa.
At the buzzer, Harcum again. Abreu watching Harcum. Here's Wood again, shot clock at 5, throws it up off the window and down.
Oh, that was pretty. Put it on his hip.
Morgan sealed off. Harcum with 2 to shoot. Got it!
Oh,
what a basket! Terrence Harcum.
Mason has had an electric second half. And Jackson comes up empty. Hard fall, too.
Wow. Less dribbling.
Austin. Gasson went over the top to 7. He'll make his moves. Austin defended there by Stirtz. Tough 3. Short, and we're going to overtime.
Ball early. Driving the baseline is Mason. Tries to put it in over Stirtz, and Stirtz is there for the rebound.
And that just...
Bulldogs turn it over for the first time. This is Bradley Douglas. Another takeaway by...
Entra la pintura, el pase afuera. Edwards. Cambio de dirección. Se apoya en el tablero, cambió de mano y anotó.
5 on the shot clock. Moretti's got to go. Boy, Katitis can't. And that's just so important.
Now here's A.J. Staten McRae, his first action.
Wipe at it as the shot clock goes to 10. The penetration. And the score by Johnson. Dalian Johnson with his first basket.
Yeah, and that time Florida Gulf Coast came out with a little 3-quarter court trap, trying to speed up Drake with the inexperience you mentioned, Larry.
Banks got his hand on the ball, and that forced it loose. Stirtz has got the defense in the corner. Off-balance shot, won't go by Johnson. Rebound Stirtz, and the Bulldogs hang on to win. As are the Bulldogs, almost 2 minutes into this matchup. Off the baseline, it's Heyman firing and missing. Both teams cold at the start. Abreu is there.
Calls him Nana. Okay for us to call him Nana. I'm going to take the easy route, Larry. I'll let you do all the hard
And the
work.
Lumberjack radio announcer said the same thing, and here comes the foul on Abreu.
Yeah, that's going to be this find. How about that find underneath? Isaiah Jackson doing something he does so well. 10th all-time Northwest Missouri State in assists.
Here's Stirtz with the steal.
Open ones.
IK Nwobi into the contest for York. Looking to drive it here, Doggy. Can't get the fade. Abreu with the board.
Down the first half, team in red, Bradley down by 2.
They're trying to get Dean a 3.
Dean Holt was knocked away by Stirtz. Terrific defense. Banks has got the ball.
Remember what Ben McCollum told Evan at halftime, that their best defense is their offense.
Davis missed it all.
And by that,
you know, where Carter Witt's got to get his team into an offense, and
catch and shoot.
Tough shot.
Oh, wow. Catch and shoot. All my point guards are the calm variety. Right. They're the guys that bring me back down. Big possession. Lundboy, quick trigger. Missed the 3. Ball's live.
He averages, as we mentioned, 13.5 per game. He handles the basketball there. On the come around, it's Des White looking for three, banks it home, and White has his 70.
Get him a catch here and see if he can get an ISO or a curl cut for White.
Here's White for three.
And
Des White.
That's the curl.
And when you think physical and you're thinking these two teams, it's Banks and Anderson that come to mind the most. Campbell, where the crowd was hoping for that one.
Now lays it in for two. There's also t-shirts that they had. I don't see any in the stands tonight, but just a white t-shirt that's got the blue ties. Henderson, he goes to work and
Saw Abreu take one down the middle. Their help defense is hard to find the way Drake has spread them out.
Braves, after an 0 for 3 start, have made their last 6 shots. Catch and shoot. Zeke Montgomery rattles it in.
Settled the NIT and got to the finals.
Yeah, it was an incredible story, Josh Stirtz, when he came in, and Robbie Avila, that's what we talked about, how they ran their offense through him on top.
Harka maybe a better look inside. No.
Drake Bulldogs.
Kobe Wood, no points here in the second half for Wood.
Thing pounding it with authority off the glass. A little bit angry at that basketball, making it hurt against the backboard.
Weisbrod catch and shoot three.
Season long for Drake.
Haven't had to change. Why would you? When you're 17-2, you keep rolling with it. Jackson was out for a little while with some injury, but other guys stepping up all the time.
Chase Martin dribbling right side, looking inside for Jose Bonsu. And
out of the Drake Bulldogs.
Out of their 24 rebounds, 10 are on the offensive glass in this game. Bears long three out front, wide left by Des White.
Just difficult against this Drake defense.
Smith, who will inbound, is a 41% three-point shooter. McNair fires, misses, banks for the rebound.
The Sycamores.
Another run here for Drake. 6-0 over the last minute 10.
Number 11, the main culprit. He's been running in from that weak side.
Up by 9. All right, Brian Worrell's team partner's got to figure out offensively. Maybe it's Davis up top. Another miss from 3. Mascari a hand on it.
Terrence Harkham. They have been making him drive to the basket. He draws the foul for Drake. He's got 7.
Run Harkham underneath off those singles.
Here's Harkham. That draws iron.
And sloppy on the offensive end.
And Georgia Southern running their offense a little bit better, and it's allowed them to overcome an 11-point deficit. Cut it to 5 a moment ago, now 7, and the Bulldogs.
Jason Edwards, Grant Hoffman, A.J. Haggard, Tyler Nickel y Devin McLaughlin. Intento de triple en el aro. Terminaba fallando.
2 Shidi en el 22-23. Esto es lo que hay que agradecerle al portal de transferencia, ¿no? A veces talento que se quedaba escondido por...
Muñez calls a set play, comes in against Abreu. 3 try by Johnson won't go. And the rebound spiked it as Jelani Stone inbounds the basketball. And the transfer from Texas, Chris Johnson, brings it into the offensive end, picked up by Isaiah Jackson. And the ball is taken away by